All right? Anyways, seriously, welcome everyone. What we're going to do is I'm going to have the girls come up first, okay? And then I'm going to have Jason and Melissa talk, and then I'll come up, and then we'll give you what you want, okay? I'm going to try to set just the pace of how this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure when you don't break the rules, when you don't bend the rules, when you make your own rules. You may not get that. And there is only one rule, one law, and that's called self-love. Most of you will never buy into it. You might buy into it a little bit. That means you'll turn the burner down, okay? And you won't suffer so much. But most of you will never turn the burner down and totally get rid of your suffering because you believe that suffering is the way to the Lord, or suffering is the way to heaven, or suffering is how you show your family that you love them. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work. I want you to meditate on that tonight, contemplate on it, pray on it, do whatever you want to do with it. But when was the last time that you suffered and you got something done? When was the last time you suffered and you were in the present moment? When was the last time you suffered and you were there for yourself or your family? It doesn't work. And whether you want to believe it or not, all women are raised to suffer. You have to suffer as much as your man does or more. You have to suffer more than your children or you're not a good mother. And around the time you hit about 40 or 50, you're all sucked out and you wonder, well, who the hell am I? I'm just going to leave you with that. Okay? You girls want to come up and talk? We'll be back.
I don't have mics. We have to yell.
I think so. We're yelling. Oh, we do have a mic. Look at that. And they have a cord.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Melissa. And Jason and I have a practice here in Airdrie Health and Healing. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming today. This is going to be a really great lecture. We're really looking forward to hearing.
Good luck with that.
It's going to be a really bad lecture. I know, we're really looking forward to having all of the information that Daryl has to share. It's just incredible, and you guys are going to be blown away with what you're going to take away today.
My name is Alicia, and I am a master practitioner in Calgary. What can I say? When you take the journey to truly care for yourself and love yourself and become centered in yourself, you will be amazed what you're capable of doing and honoring that beautiful body that your soul calls home. And the information Daryl's going to give you is going to blow your mind and really make you think about just the way you look at life and the way you treat your body and that internal conversation that's always going on. And I'm excited to assist each and every one of you who want to continue on that journey.
What else do you want to talk about, Daryl? We don't want to steal your thunder.
There's a lot of feedback.
There's a lot of feedback. Yeah.
We work too close to each other. One mic. Nope, still feedback.
It's her frequency.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be like that.
Yeah, it probably is.
Right? Nope, not a cell phone. Your turn. I'll jump out. You two go together.
I'll knock the cameras over, so I'm going to come around. Hey guys, how's everyone doing tonight? Oh, that's pretty low frequency. Okay, well, Daryl, you know we'll pick that up. My name's Jason, married to Melissa. Our clinic is in Airdrie, as she may have already said. So we are super excited because I know Daryl's going to touch on it a bunch tonight, but we have a cell sonic coming and a cardiac bed coming for our clinic. So from what I've been told, the sales pitch he gave me is we're the first ones in Western Canada to get these two pieces of equipment, which is going to be beneficial to all the practitioners in Western Canada, not just her and I. So we're here to help share our resources and just help everybody get better. Welcome. Daryl. Just use that mic.
Yeah, I will.
Play the frequency.
Okay.
Give him that mic.
Okay.
Melissa?
I'm back. So what do you think about what I said? You all know that, guess what? So many times in your life, you're running on gas fumes. You're running on gas fumes. Okay, I want to tell you something, okay? Everybody on this planet, okay? Everybody on this planet needs love like oxygen. You can't live without it. Go ahead and try. You're not going to. We are emotional beings, whether you believe that that's a curse or a blessing, okay? And for most of you, it's a curse. Now, I'm going to tell you why. And you're not broken, you're not stupid, and there's nothing wrong with you. I'm going to go in tonight and just talk about how you got set up. Whether you want to believe it or not, you were set up. If you want to go and look at the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Queen of England, you'll find out that you can go back, not hundreds, but thousands of years, and it's the same family. You'll find out also that if you really wanted to do your research, there's only been one president in the United States that wasn't related to all the rest of them. It's all just one big family. You'll understand that if you're involved in politics and you just want to make changes, what a waste. If you take all your energy and you change your personality, you'll have a new reality. Go and vote for anybody you want, but they're not voting for you. Go ahead and just go out there. Most of you will spend your time trying to change the world when the world was never going to change. When you go to play Monopoly, those are the rules. When you play a game, understand these people that you think are going to get theirs are never going to get theirs. They're going to stay in charge, but they don't have to stay in charge of you, and you can find inner peace and outer peace. You can have unconditional love for yourself and the world, but you're going to have different belief systems. You're not going to be able to work off the same belief systems as your mother and father, your grandfather, your great-grandmother. We can keep going with this. Your friends, your relatives. Okay, how many people know that right now, depending on what state, what province you go into in North America, 86 to 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means that you are attacking yourself on where you were on a physical level. Know that there's no diseases, there's only symptoms. And a symptom becomes a disease when you go to a practitioner that doesn't know what the heck he's talking about, or knowing anything that is called body talk. And every time you have pain, inflammation, swelling, redness, stiffness, guess what? That's your body saying, I love you. This isn't a Visa card that you can just spend every day without you making any deposits. And the reality is this, you didn't intend to abuse it, but you're unconscious that guess what? Your body has 50 trillion cells, 500 trillion bacteria. Those are the two most important things. And they are alive and they want your respect. And that's the bottom line. We are emotional beings. And if you don't know how to process crisis, trauma, drama, then guess what? You better buckle up, because it's going to be a miserable life. Or you'll have some good times, and then you'll have some bad times. But you'll only have the good times when somebody isn't doing any bad times. And you know that all of us have alcoholics, drug addicts, okay, and psycho family. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, there's 8 people out of about 70. Oh, the other ones are the psychos. Yeah. Okay. Understand, when I say something tonight, it's not personal. And whatever I'm talking about, I was there. And I had to take massive personal action. And guess what? I had to have my family attack me and still hold the line. I was called Jesus. Okay. All right. Buddha. Okay. And lots of other names that I should not start swearing right now. But guess what? When you try to rise when you try to bring your frequency up, when you try to eat healthy, when you try healthy choices, when you try to be a lean, keen, okay, intelligent, sexy machine, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in big trouble. Hey, right now, 87% of the population is overweight. No, they're not. They're actually obese. They changed obesity from only 10 pounds overweight to 40. Isn't that nice? They made you comfortable. Okay, all right. Let me tell you something right now. The whole thing is a setup. Okay, think about this. We're eating machines. We eat 3 times a day. We have 3 snacks. Okay, when we're depressed, what do? Okay, when we celebrate? Oh, no. When we celebrate, we poison everyone else. Hey, guess what? It's my birthday. Okay, all right. Let's drink, let's eat cake and ice cream, okay, and party down and poison our bodies. Hey, honey, you've been so good. Mommy's going to poison you. Oh, but wait a minute. We're intelligence in the universe. No. You know what? I try to say things and I go, you know what? I am so glad that I exist. I truly do love my life, but I know one thing for sure. I am not the most intelligent species in the universe. I know that if you have to eat blue every day, you're not the most intelligent species or the highest vibrating species in the universe. Because I know there are species in the universe that don't have to eat and poop. And understand something, you are all slaves. You're slaves to your addictions, you're slaves to love. Mainly love. And the reality is you can't live without it, but guess what? You keep going back for contaminated love. And do you know what contaminated love is? I love Lori more than anything else, but guess what? I make her not responsible for loving me at all. At all. At all. I will fill up my heart every day. And if she's in a good mood, bad mood, doesn't matter, I got her back. Okay? It doesn't matter what she says, what she does, I got her back. We're 2 spirit beings on a spirit journey where everyone's trying to kill us. Listen, the minute that I got into my mother's womb, I said, this isn't a womb, it's a tomb. Okay, my parents did not get along. Okay, I'll tell you why. My father was a born-again Christian part-time pastor, and my mother was Roman Catholic. Well, right away, you know. But the reality is this. They truly tried to love each other, and they truly tried to love me and my brothers. But the reality is you can only love as much as you love yourself. You can't love any more than that. And you're going to go, that's not true. I love my children way more than myself. Well, I believe that you do. You're desperate for their love. You're desperate for their love, which makes them captive. Right? Captive to you. Understand this. Everything is a movie. I can change it. I have the ability to change any movie I want. Okay? Listen, just a few months ago, there was an organization trying to close everything that I'm doing down. They tried everything. They tried everything they could. And you know what? I want to thank them because it made me stronger. Because when you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter. You don't need anybody else. And if you are believing in yourself and you are doing no harm, my God, I'm trying to teach unconditional love and self-care. Yeah, let's get them. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? I am nowhere compared to this, so I'm not even saying it. But just know this. Jesus was murdered for unconditional. So you need to know that. And I'm not saying I'm going to get murdered, and I'm not Jesus. Understand that. But I know one thing, this, is that I need to unconditionally love everyone on this. If I want to bring my life, I'm never going to have a dis-ease, because it means you're out of ease. It means you're out of harmony. It means that you're out of balance. And every time you have a symptom, whether it's inflammation or it's stiffness or it's doesn't matter what the symptom is. It's your body saying you're out of alignment. Would you rather that you didn't have any symptoms at all and then you just died? Now, I just want to thank the medical system, okay, for having all of their medication all based on petroleum. So everybody here that's on drugs, which is most of the people in this room, you're on drugs. You're a druggie even if you're not taking drugs. How many people eat animal products and they're not organic? Well, you're taking antibiotics every day and you're wiping out your good bacteria. Isn't that great? Okay, so here's the deal. I want to thank the medical system because guess what? You've got a choice. You've got a choice to believe in that which created the universe, that created nature. You have a choice to have belief and faith in the invisible and understand that you are a spirit being and everything you eat and drink physically leaves the body and only the frequency and the light is left behind. So if you are a spirit being, electrical magnetic energy being, then you would know that everything that you eat, drink, think, and who you hang around with better be high vibrational or they're bringing you down. And when you get down, guess what? You can't do enough parasite cleanses. You can't do enough detox because you're always going to be out of balance. I talked about this last night at the other lecture, and I talked about this, and the reality was, move over a little bit. So I talked about this last night, and the reality is this, okay? I said, thank God for the medical system in a way, because the reality is if you're going to be programmed, okay, to stay in an unconscious state and disrespect yourself all your life, you would be dead already because you would have suicide. You would have went suicide, right? You would. Okay, you know people that have pain and suffering all the time? They think about killing themselves every day. They don't want to tell you that. And I'm going to tell you something. If we didn't have the drugs to totally bring down our spirit and numb us out and make us into a zombie, we would have. So maybe it's saving those people long enough and strong enough that they get frustrated or they have some kind of awakening. And then when they wake up, they're going to take massive personal change. Most people say that they have a healthy diet. Well, that's compared to everyone else that's killing themselves. I just said that 86 to 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, not one, not two, but even three. I said that right now, to be obese, you have to have over 40 pounds of weight. And understand something, we are outnumbered now. Did you know that, guys, you do know that it's around 86% of the population that is overweight. And they're not overweight, they're overwaste. First of all, toxic. Nobody's going to love you if you do that. All the self-loathing, you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not strong enough. Okay, who would love you? And understand something, you're all fighting with this. I'll tell you who should love you. You should love you. And you should be working on it as hard as you can. Because if you did love you, you'd be a lean, keen, intelligent, sexy machine. Oh, I don't want to hear the word sexy. Oh God, no, that's something awful. Really? I don't think so. I think being lean and having tone and having muscle and having energy is something we all should have. So I don't really care if the majority outnumbers me. I don't care if the majority gets pissed off at me anymore because it's just going to continually happen until I get fed up with it, and then I won't lecture anymore. I just won't. Right now, it's an adventure. I'd like to see how many people I could get to love and care for themselves instead of offing themselves and their family. Is that okay with you guys? Well, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. But understand something. I rattle everybody's cages because I say this. I say the medical system isn't broken. Oh, we got to fix the medical system. How do you fix a drug addict? They're going to quit when they're going to quit, and they're never going to quit. Okay, the Rockefellers, you know, they own the petroleum industry, like 51%. Did you know that? I do my homework. Okay, you do know that all drugs are made out of petroleum. So, you know, are you tank full yet? Are you filled up? Okay, and you do know that there's an evil entity that lives on this planet. And if you're religious, you call it one thing. And if you're me, you just call it an evil entity. And guess what? The majority of the population is feeding it. And that's why it's getting stronger. Thank you very much, but I don't really care because I'm getting stronger. And I'm telling you, the people that are awake are getting stronger. There's hundreds of thousands of us. And you know what? We only need 2% of the population to wake up. That's it. 2% of the population were to totally wake up, the whole world would change. So until then, guess what? I'm going to disrupt everybody. Stir it up, Daryl. Guess what? I say this, I go, chiropractic is good, but it's not successful. I say massage therapy is good, but it's not successful. I say physiotherapy is just no good. Okay? All right? God, you know, I've been going to him for 4 months. Yeah, no wonder you should be better. I mean, yeah, I'm stirring it already. The reality is this, I'm going to teach you tonight. We're going to put a mat on the floor, and then I'm going to have people who have such bad neck problem where they have, or somebody has a knee problem and has to go to surgery, and I'll guarantee I can prove it's BS. It's all BS. And understand something, you're created by God Almighty, and it's time that we actually talk like it and we think like it. I know so many people that go to church and they believe in so much in the creator of everything, but guess what? They can't eat right, think right, or do right. They can't look after the temple they've been given. Well, what a bunch of BS. And that is the other BS I'm talking about right now. That's BS. Don't you give me your holier than now until you learn to love, honor, and protect and respect yourself. And understand something. Can we just do one thing? Let's see if we can get through the whole day, 24 hours, without judging ourselves or anybody else on the planet. Let's see if we have nothing bad to say about anyone. Let's see if we can just, you know, there's 3,500 prominent religions. There's 100,000 out there. And guess what? Every one of them thinks that they got the key to be free. And understand, allow that person to have it. If your belief systems are making you healthy and wealthy on all levels and happy and joyful, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are so many different religions, there's so many different ethnic groups, there's so many different colors of people. I love it. You don't like a tossed salad? I do. And understand something, if you don't like something, don't focus on it. Focus on what you like. Don't focus on what you hate. Every one of you, not every one of you, most of you, I hate this, I hate that, I don't like this, I don't like that. If you were to mind your own business and focus on only what you love, you wouldn't have any diseases or any symptoms. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to prove it to you right now. Okay. Every one of you are the writers of your story. Well, no, you're not. You have the choice to rewrite the story. Just everything that you learned in school is bullshit. You came out of school, you couldn't add. Well, I could, but now they can't. Okay, I do know that 1 and 1 is not 11, okay? But the reality is all our children can hardly add. They can't write, they can't read. But all of us, every one of us here, when we got out of school, there might be 1 or 2, so don't put your hand up and go, no, I. You know, okay, so when I say everyone, I don't mean everyone, okay? Okay, everyone but her, okay? So when we got out of school, we did not know how to feed ourselves properly. We didn't know how to feed our husband or properly. And it's not that you women have to do that. It's just that we're all brainwashed to do it. You need to feed me. And the reality is I don't want you to feed me. I want you to nourish me. Hey, everyone, it's time for nourishment. No. Hey, everyone, it's time to feed yourself. Just shove that crap in your mouth. Because that's mostly what we're eating. So when you got out of school, you didn't know how to feed yourself or anyone else. That's really cool. Okay? You didn't know how to love yourself or anyone else. And don't tell me you did, because you didn't. I don't even know anybody who did. But meanwhile, you know how to get your pants off and make a baby. And then when you did have the baby, he was crapping his drawers and said, holy crap, can we afford the diapers? Well, that's what every guy does. We're all programmed for that. Oh my God, how much are diapers now? Right? And then she's going, oh my God, I hope this is going to be okay. And he's got 5 toes and he's got, or 10 toes and he's got 10 fingers. You know, the reality is this. You may not know this, but women have never been sicker. They've never dropped more babies. More babies have never been stillborn, and it's all because, guess what? You're pooping in your pelvis, and your pelvic floor is rotting out. That's why, because you're eating rotten food. 90% of the food did not exist 90 years ago. 90% of all the diseases did not exist 90 years ago. Okay, there's something here. We got to think about this. We all got to get together and pray on this one. Let me see, 90 years ago, the diseases didn't exist. Okay? It exists now, and 90% of the food we eat now didn't exist. There's a clue here. I don't know where it is. And just know, these bastards are going to poison the water. They're going to poison the food. They're going to poison the air. But guess what? If you just awaken to your brilliance, to that you are the omega, the alpha you've been looking for. You are the lover you've been looking for. And understand, anybody here that's threatened in their marriage, they're just going, what the hell is this guy? Jesus. You know what? I've kept her crippled forever. You know, now if she falls in love with herself, she'll probably run away with herself. The reality is we're all fearful because we've never learned how to love ourselves. Just think if you knew how to love yourself and you lived with someone that knew how to love themselves, you know, you can believe this or not, but we have no anger, no hate. We never fight. We are two spirit beings that came down here to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And we know that it's self-love and self-care. And we're going to shine that light on each other. I am not, look at, I denippled myself from Lori. Thank God. I got to suck her dry. You know what? I'm going to love myself, fill up my heart every day. So when she comes to me, okay, I'm going to be her rock. I also decided that it doesn't matter what goes on in my life, and I mean anything, I only give myself 30 seconds to have a trauma moment. Look at, we could all talk about the same thing, okay? We could all have the same thing happen in our life, and it's a crisis, right? A major crisis, okay? One would hit the bottle, one would hit marijuana. One for an hour, one would do it for a week, one would do it for a lifetime. Hey, listen, who do you still not want to because you hate them? Don't you dare tell me no one. And guess what? There's your cancer. That's the answer to cancer. C stands for corruption, contamination, and conflict. And if you take that C away, you're left with ANSWER. And what's that? Let's hear it out loud. Answer. So stop it. Stop it. What do you hate? Huh? Some of you may hate me right now, but I don't care. I love you anyway. You can come up here and go, I hate your guts. And I'll go, I love my guts. My large intestine's doing really good. I had 3 bowel movements today, and 2 were 6 inches, 1 was 7 inches. And then I'll fart. Listen to me. I don't care what you think about me. Oh, isn't that something? Who does he think he is? He doesn't care what we think. Well, guess what? Most of you aren't thinking. Everybody's thinking the same thing that nobody's thinking. And everybody's thinking it's the end of the world, and it's not. Okay? Seriously. That's the deal. So here it is. You're the writer, but you're not the writer. Because most of you will never change because you got to go to boot camp. You have to go to boot camp, okay? Because here's the deal. Okay. No, don't go to Dr. Wolfe's course because you're going to get brainwashed there. And I want to tell you something. That's a lie. You're going to brainwash yourself there. You are. Would you like someone else to brainwash you, or would you like to brainwash yourself? What if you got up every morning going, oh my God, and you walked to the mirror and you went, oh my God, you are getting more beautiful every day. And then you kissed the mirror. What if you did that? How many of the women here, try this tonight. You don't believe me? You go and you put your makeup on. You go and you do your hair, and you haven't looked in your eyes for more than 5 seconds your whole life. And if you were to go and do that, okay, and you were to go do that for just 3 minutes, you know what? You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. You know why? Because you're all ugly. You're all ugly, and who would love you? And you can't look in your eyes, and you're not ugly. This is things that we've been taught. If you were to fall in love with yourself, guess what would happen? You bring your vibration up. Hey, how do you feel when you hate yourself? How do you feel when you hate life? How do you feel when you're depressed? Well, there is no depressed. And I have to talk about it because that's my favorite one. Because most people in here are fighting depression right now. I hope you know that. I mean, they just did a study, okay? They just did a study and they said that 90% of the population is depressed right now. Well, of course, you know, they told you had to lock up for 2.5 years and you actually did it and you wore masks, okay? We didn't do that. I didn't do that. But most people did it, okay? But, oh, I just wanted to say this. You know, I saw this on a poster. So I just have to say it, and please don't throw anything at me, okay? I just really loved it. I did love it. And on the poster it said, I want to thank all of those people that were alone in their car for wearing a mask to keep us all healthy. Okay, so here's the deal. So you're the writer, you're the director, you're the producer, and you're the leading star to your movie. Who's playing in your movie the most? You. Universe. You are the universe. So why are you acting like you do? Because you never thought about it. Well, because, you know, how about this one? Okay, so how you doing? Oh, I just went to the doctor and you know what? What? Well, he said I've got depression and now I'm on depression meds. Well, what's wrong? I don't know. Listen, let me tell you something. Or how about this one? Did you ever hear this one? And you know this has happened, right? What's wrong with you? What do you mean? This is my personality. This is not my personality. What I have here is not my personality, so it's going to change. Why don't you go and watch my videos a year ago and watch them now? Why don't you go watch and I change. You don't change. You just get tired. Hey, is your husband still beating you? No, he can't raise his arms anymore. He's so old. Hey, listen. What?
Carry on.
God, this is a free lecture. This is therapy for me. You only have what you have in your life because you actually created it. There's only one virus. That's the only one I see. It's the only one I see. And I'm not picking on anyone. You know, I am not going to get in your way of suffering. So just, you know, you'll be, you know, I won't even pay attention. All right? I'm not out to save anyone. I'm only here for the people that are awake because I think that we should come together and have a Braveheart Nation and have a damn good time every day. Yes. So here's the deal. I'm going to make it really short because I want to talk about some things that they're going to be doing, okay? All right, okay? Because he worked up at the oil rigs and sometimes he gets aggressive, okay? Now, so here's the deal. I'm going to explain real science. Would you like to hear it? Okay, there was no pan. So please don't say, I was at home last week with the COVID. So please stop that. Just, did anybody here look up in the dictionary the definition of a virus? Yeah. Did anyone? No, because we are the most intelligent species in the universe. Look it up. It's a Greek word, virus. Do you know what it stands for? If you read it, it's exactly this, okay? A living parasite that can jump 6 feet.
5'11". Only 5'11".
5'11". Okay, if you look it up, it says toxin. It's not even alive. And you were scared shitless for 2.5 years. So that, you know what? It's about this. It has the same intelligence and the same power as a turd on the floor. You know what he wanted to do? Put a turd on the floor and see if anybody would come in. He said, no, they won't do it. They were scared of the other one too. You guys don't get it. You just got ruled, schooled, and fooled. Isn't that nice? And you're going to find out because it's all going to come true. And you know why it's going to come true? Because anybody noticed that you don't have good cell phone reception anymore?
Oh, guess why? That happened only 6 months ago because we turned the whole of North America onto 5G. And guess what? They rolled it out too soon because what they need to do is they have to put a 5G box on every corner of every block to make it work. 4G can go for miles. 5G will only go until it hits a tree or it hits a human being. It can't go any further. So that's why your reception's so bad. And when they do turn on the 5G, just know this. That vibration, okay, will actually activate those nanos. And understand this, they're still not going to win. You know, just how you guys don't like each other either. We'll either do the psycho elite, but they get together and go, hey, we don't like each other, but we got to strategize against these ants. You know, it's really cool to pretend you're a god and be able to just start fake wars and steal everybody's money. So I know this is a health lecture, but just understand something. As soon as you want to stand up for yourself, love yourself, and care for yourself, they have no power. They feed off you being a victim. They feed off of you fearing. I have no fear. And then you're going to say, well, what is he, a fool? No, I don't go jumping off cliffs. You can't scare me. Do you know how many times I've been threatened just by the way I talk and what I do? If you want to give back people their power, do you know how much money we take away from corporations? And corporations exist because you're powerless. You think about that. What's the first 4 letters of corporations? Yeah, no, add an S. Okay. And there's the mess. So here's the deal. This is true. The brain is not the most intelligent thing in the human body. How many people know what it is physically? What is it physically that's the most intelligent thing in the human body? What? No, the heart knows everything, but it's not the most intelligent thing.
Bacteria.
It's your bacteria. So guess what? How many of you, okay, during the COVID, every time you walked into a place and there was a pump there and they said, you got to do it, you went like this, and you went like this and got it there. And here, what species goes and does bacterial soap against a virus? Okay. Just know when you put that on your hands, it went into your bloodstream and it actually attacked your bacteria. And how many people know that you only have 50 trillion cells, but you have 500 trillion bacteria? And they talk to your brain 9 times, where your brain only talks to the body once for every 9 it does. And how many people know that in your pelvis, more information is collected from your large intestine from those bacteria than anywhere else? And meanwhile, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, how they're after those bacteria. And if they can annihilate those, they own you. You're done. Well, you don't believe me? How come, seriously, how come 60% of the population looks pregnant and they're not? I just want to know.
Most of them are men.
And most of them are men. That's right. Okay? My God, you can see them. It's like, wow, man, how did you ever eat that whole beach ball? You know what I want to do? When I'm at the mall, I just want to take a little pin and poke it and see if it flies. Because it's got gas ass. That's a new disease, gas ass.
Coming to you this fall.
Yeah, coming to you this fall. Yeah, but we have to wait until the war is over and then we'll get into that, okay? All right, so here's the deal. The brain is only a computer. It is nothing else. And guess what else it is? It's a chemist. And you go ahead, do your science. Go ahead, do your science. Your computer is only, your brain is only a computer, and it's only a chemist. 10% of your brain is your conscious mind, and people are only in the conscious moment. How much? They've studied it. 2 to 5% of the day. And that's why you don't get much done. That's why you can't heal yourself. That's why you can't feel for yourself. Because you can't feel for yourself or heal yourself unless you are in the present moment. So I do a lot of healing and feeling. I'm awake. The majority is asleep. And they're always going to, guess what? They're always going to rule this planet, but they don't have to rule you as of now. You don't have to come and take my Braveheart course. You don't have to take my Whole Life Coach course or the Wolfe Non-Surgical. But if you were to come and do the Whole Life Coach, Wolfe Non-Surgical, or even just the Braveheart course, you'll be set free. By the third day, we'll blow your mind and we'll open your heart. And you'll be able to actually go home. You will not disrespect your family. And you will not allow them to disrespect you. And you will not get angry. And you will let them know that I love you, and this is over. Almost every couple here is still having the same argument, even if they've been together for 20 years. It's not your fault. When you came together, you were desperate for love. And guess what? For the first year, he filled your heart, and you filled his. And then guess what? We have to get back to reality. And the honeymoon was over. If you come together with anyone with an empty heart, your life will suck forever. Because people are moody and they will play love ransom with you. And we are all brainwashed that if I don't get mine, you're not getting yours. You can believe it or not, but Lori doesn't have to give me anything. I just have to love myself, not terror, and being moody and grumpy, or had a hard day, like most men, right? I had a hard day, right? Because they want to make sure they don't have to do anything else. It's a true story. And when the actual real work starts when they open the door, they bring in unconditional love. And they protect the house. Men don't protect the house. They don't protect their family. They don't do any of that. Because guess what? Tell me that the Wi-Fi gets turned off. Tell me that they read to see how many chemicals are on the, because we used to go out and get the food and bring it home. So now the woman has to get the food. She has to clean the house. She has to do another job too. Right? And he can't even, and then he's not, I'm not going to lower myself. I paid the mortgage. That's the deal. Let's get back to the story. I'm not trying to run men down, but you can brainwash anyone. So unless you're going to go to boot camp and brainwash yourself, because guess what? We're emotional beings. What does that stand for? Energy and motion. Energy and motion. And guess what? How many people believe that the invisible creates the physical? How many people believe that the invisible creates the visible? How many people believe that the psychological rules the biological? You don't have one disease that you didn't create here first. And there are no diseases. Yeah. How much hate and anger do you have for yourself? How many people had their gallbladder out? That's what that is. I can't get into it all night, but I can prove it. Every place in your body where you have a negative symptom or a disease is because it started here first. Now, here we go. So, the brain, 10% is the conscious mind, 90% is the subconscious mind. Now, you can say whatever you want. Bruce Lipton says that we have 90% subconscious mind because from 0 to 7, we're in a theta state, we're in a trance, and we need to learn all the rules of the family. And I'm going to tell you this, I don't believe that. I believe that that's true, but I believe that the human body was manipulated a long time ago, genetically. And you know what? You can tell me I'm crazy, but guess I'm allowed to have my own story. Look at you. Look at the crazy story you tell yourself. At least I'm telling myself something that will help get me through the day and feel better. Because guess what? Why would we need a brain that's 90% subconscious? And you know what the subconscious is for? To only store your thoughts, prominent, dominant thoughts. And how many people here know that 98% of your day is run by your prominent dominant thoughts and you're in an unconscious state? And how many people know that because we're in an unconscious state, they pulled our pants down and put the diaper on our face? And don't you tell me they didn't. If you were conscious, that would have never happened. Now, here's the deal. So now, get this. The subconscious has one program, and that's to store prominent dominant thoughts. And how many people know this? From 0 to 7, you're in a trance, you're in a theta state. And everything that your mommy and daddy said and did, and you saw around you, you said, that's the way life is. And you took it in as a program that you're running to this day. And you will run that until you do something like a Braveheart Healing Circle or a whole life coach training with me. Or if you don't like me, go look at my course and then go find somebody that teaches a course like that. And then you're going to tell me you don't have the time or the money, and that's how much love you have for yourself. Because I could go into your house and show you that you eat enough Cheetos and chips that would have paid for that, and enough beer and enough wine, okay? You've got enough addictions going on. And that's the deal. So when you say, I don't have any money, well, because you were brainwashed to talk poverty all the time. And when you're not enough for yourself, you'll never have enough out here. You're a consumer because you're consumed by it. So here's the deal. So now, the subconscious, it only stores prominent dominant thoughts. Well, what if every prominent dominant thought you had was based on self-love? One love, one law, unconditional love for yourself and for the world. Would your life look different right now? Okay, probably not. Okay, so anyways. Yeah, everybody, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Did you know that the majority of the people out here are not processing what I'm saying? It's like, don't, that's it. And guess what? It's not because you are dumb. It's because you haven't heard it before. If you were to come to a lecture every day for 100 days and we did an hour together, your whole life would change. You change where you live, you change your work, you change the way you dress, you change the way you talk, the way you walk. But look at what you're listening to and who you're listening to. So far, I have said nothing to put you down, only to tell you that you are the Omega, you are the Alpha, you were created by God Almighty, and that you can bring the thunder down. Because as soon as you want to have not an understanding, you know, people go, do you understand? Say, no, I understand. And I don't want any of your bullshit. You will never understand again. You will understand. Oh, I'm not pissed off. I just know that there's a better life here. Okay? And I know that every time that I come and do a lecture and I talk like this, I stand up for myself more. And I love myself more. And I care for her more. And I care for my family more. And I'll care for you more. So here we go. So I told you that the brain, okay, is not smart. I lied. The brain is only smart if you've got smart beliefs. The brain is only healthy and the body's only healthy if you have healthy beliefs. You are only wealthy if you have wealthy beliefs. You think I'm kidding? I've met some dumbass people that are very rich. And you know why? Because the main belief they have is that it's easy to make money. And guess what? 99% of the people in this room believe that it's hard to make money. So guess what it gets to be? Hard to make money. Because you only deserve what you demand. You only deserve what you focus on. That's it. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I wouldn't try to sell you on anything. I don't have to. I only have one addiction, and that's shirts. Everybody knows that. Okay? Geez, I need something to stand out. Thinking of getting a face tattoo, but okay. Well, why do you think that our kids are tattooing themselves? Because they need to stand out because they told they weren't good enough. When you're good enough, you don't need to do that. Okay, so I told you that the brain is dumb because guess what? You ready for this? This is research that's been done, so you can take it or leave it. You ready for this? 90% of the beliefs that you have are killing you and your family slowly. 70% of all the beliefs that you have are already implanted in you by the time you're 7. The Jesuits say, give me a child until he's 7. We own them. Because guess what? You're in that trance. So the reality is this. You didn't have a chance. Do you know how you go, I'm a bad mother, I'm a bad father? You want to know something? I can't believe how good you were, considering that they brainwashed you and gave you all these toxic beliefs. Look at how you tried. Everyone in here has worked themselves to the bone and has loved as hard as they could. You can't love unless you have a generator that makes love, and that's your heart. And if you were to fill up your heart with love for yourself, you would never judge yourself again or your family. You would sit down and go, so Johnny, why did you try to start Mummy on fire? And you would do it that way. You would not punish Johnny. You would want to know why Johnny is that mad and that messed up. I will never punish my family for anything. Nothing. I will sit down and ask them why. What did the world do to you? What did I do to you? Why do you want to kill yourself? Why do you believe that you have to drink to escape yourself? We need to find out why. Why do you have to toke 5 times a day to numb yourself out? Because you can't process the emotions. You know, I try to mind my own business, but the reality is there's so much suffering in this room, and there's so much suffering with your family. And the thing is that the government, okay, there's an internal government that's inside the government that runs the government, and you have no say. But they can't touch you. There is a God, but God will not intervene. You have a brain, and you're supposed to rise above this swamp. Do you understand? If you think somebody's coming to save you, that is such a sad story. That is so sad, so sad. It's never happened for anyone, but it's going to happen for you in your lifetime. Oh, we got stories that go back, what, hundreds and thousands of years, right? And it's going to happen again, right? Listen, I want to be wrong, and you can all call me up and tell me, okay, when you got saved, okay? But you got to take personal action and save yourself and become the hero of the story. I already told you, you're the writer, you're the producer, you're the director, and most of you have picked what? A horror story or a what? A drama. And you picked it every day. Why didn't you pick a love story adventure where you walk out of the bush every second and you go, I'm here to save it. That's it. And that's what I do. I do. I practice it all the time. Okay? Do I have a cape at home? Okay. I do have a cape.
Of course you do.
Okay. Listen to me. You go in and you find that little girl, that little boy, and you turn that kitty litter back into a sandbox, and you start building your castle, and you go back and you dust off your dreams and your passion, and you go back and you get it, and you hold the line, and you're not going to get any help from your family. You're not going to probably get any help from your husband or your wife or your children, because they're all in this trance and they're not coming out, and they may never come out. Is it okay if you rise? No, you're going to stay down there. I don't want to leave them behind. Well, you would have to leave them behind a little bit, because if you actually raise and rise and wake up, you're not going to be around them all the time because they bring you down. So guess what? At least be ashamed to say, here, why don't you try this out? They're gonna knock you down. They're going to pick on you. The herd's going to come and get you for at least 9 months. Can you hang in there for 9 months? Because then they're just going to give up, and then 2 or 3 of them will break from the herd, because you did that, and you just saved their life. You saved their spirit. You saved their soul. So the subconscious, it only stores beliefs, and yours are sucking the heck out of you. I go all day full blast. How do I do that? Okay? Drugs. I do. The most powerful drug in the world is self-love, not love. because I can self-serve it anytime I want it. I could do it all day long, and you can't throw me in jail. Here's the deal. So, everybody's got an image of their life. Everybody's got an image of their planet. Everybody's got an image of their self. And the image is different. But guess what? Your image is based on what people think about you. What a dumb thing to do. Why would you do that? Most people don't like themselves, so they're not going to like you. If I totally love myself, I'm going to love you whether you hate me. I mean it. Because I know that, God damn it, we got to set ourselves free. I know that if I judge you, okay, I'm just going to give you the poison pill. So no matter if you like me or you don't like me or you hate me or you don't believe in me, it doesn't matter. I know that that's the only way that we can free this planet. So understand this. So your image, right? Okay. Think of something so beautiful right now. I guarantee it'll put a smile on your face. Now think about the worst thing that ever happened in your life, and I guarantee you the smile is gone. And guess what? Your energy goes down. And now you start to have that ache and pain again in your neck or your back or somewhere. We are electrical, magnetic, vibrational beings. And I will not hang around with you if you're a Donna Downer. I will not. I will tell you I love you, but I'm not doing this. It is not your fault wherever you are right now in your life, but it's your responsibility to come out of there if you want. So here's the deal. Image creates a thought. Guys, this is science. Image creates thoughts, yes or no? When you think about a duck, do you think about a pig? Huh? No. Okay. So image creates thought. Thought creates an emotion. Emotion, energy in motion. The energy in motion is going to decide whether you heal or squeal. The emotion is going to create what? This is the big one. Hang in here. Frequency, energy in motion. Einstein said energy never dies. Einstein said, and Tesla said, that guess what? The invisible creates the visible, that the psychological rules the biological. So if you've got cancer, you've got constipation, you've got a belief system that is being amplified in a physical form. You get it? You better get it. Okay, so now image creates thought, thought creates emotion, emotion creates frequency. And frequency, are you ready for this? It will either dump hack, histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, or it'll dump dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Does anybody think that I get off on adrenaline or I get off on dopamine and oxytocin? Well, does it look like I'm angry? Does it look like I'm upset? Does it look like I'm waiting for somebody to come home with a trauma so I could get some energy and unleash some adrenaline so that I can become acidic and burn my body up and make it into a piece of beef jerky? I'm not going to do that because I love myself. What?
I'll just tell my friend if he could do that, I'd eat him for supper.
Well, guess what? We know who likes beef jerky. And understand something, just so you know, a 1 inch to a 1.5 inch muscle, it goes down into 1/4 of an inch. And all the muscle fibers are still in there. And that's why, guess what? Grandpa's walking like this, right? Really stiff. Oh, Grandpa, you okay? Oh, I don't feel a thing. That's because all the scar tissue and the calcium is wrapped around his nerves. The calcium is in his joints, so that's why he's stiff. And guess what? The beef jerky that you guys chew on, well, that's Grandpa. He's beef jerky. If we were to skin him, okay, we could all have beef jerky. And understand, when you can't open your arm, it's because you've got beef jerky in your elbow. When you have stiffness in your leg, you've got beef jerky in your tendons, ligaments, and muscles. And guess what? I'll give you a money-back guarantee that we can reverse it all the way to a wheelchair if you want to get out of there. But you got to have massive personal action, because guess what? Whether it's a cane, whether it's a walker, whether it's a wheelchair, if you have it for more than 9 months, it's a frenemy. You love it more than your family. You know you can't come off the drugs because it's not because if you come off the drugs you might die. It's because you're addicted just like a heroin addict. And the symptoms are going to be so bad. God, I really wish I could give up salad, but I just can't seem to come off of it. I'd like to go cold turkey. God, Lori, make the salad now. Okay. So anyway, so now what we do is we have, remember, image creates what? Thought. Thought creates what? Emotion. Emotion creates what? A frequency. That's right. And the frequency does what? Releases chemicals and hormones. And they move at the speed of light. Wow. She walks in the room and I light up and I feel the hair stand up like that fast. Because your hormones and chemicals move at the speed of light through your body. So they can either ruin you or they can make your day every day. And all you had to do was smile. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. The majority of the people here, if I said no, when you start coming to the whole life coach, right? I try to get everybody to smile. And I go, smile. Let me see you smile. People that are so miserable and so angry, they can't smile for more than 15 seconds. And then when you go, come on, let me see you smile longer. You know, they're just going like this. And are they?
Yeah.
Are they? Oh, yeah. Well, I earned this. You don't know what my life is like. Oh, yeah, we do. You get up every morning and write the story. Okay, so now the frequencies are going to dump the chemicals and the hormones. But I did say that what? The invisible creates the physical? The invisible creates the physical? That's what I said. I said the psychological rules the biological. And that's real science right there. So just understand something. Go home tonight after you're done here, and you go home all excited. Go home and watch the news. I dare you. Go home and watch the news. Well, you know that most of you do watch the news. And how do you watch the news? You listen to the bullshit that your families tell you. And I wouldn't stay in a conversation. Not a conversation. You couldn't tell me one thing that's going on in the world because it's my world, baby. You stands for universe. It's my universe. My universe is going to be written by me. I am the producer, I'm the director, I'm the writer, and I'm the leading star. And guess what? I'm always getting what I want. And that's not it. I'm not talking about physical and material. If I don't mind my own business, okay, I'll go bankrupt on all levels. Okay, so 90% is the subconscious, which is just a big filing cabinet that just stores things. That's right. So just think, if you were to go long enough and strong enough and tell yourself a new story, yeah, but that's a lie. Well, everybody in here is living a lie. You're all living a lie already. Don't be a liar. Oh, I'm going to be a liar. Every day I lie. You're amazing, Daryl. You're created by God Almighty. And I make up my own stories. Guess what this is? You're not going to like this. Does anybody look up the definition of sin lately? Missing the mark. Guess what? I'm going to sin 1,000 times, maybe 10,000 times before I get it right. And that which created the whole universe is going, you rock, Daryl, but you guys believe that stuff. So now you're a sinner. So you're never going to be a winner. And that's why you leave everything on the table, but I don't even have to take your stuff because there's enough for everyone. So yeah, how many people here have sinned? Well, guess what? You're not going to heal, and you're not going to be fun to be with. How many people are a failure? Well, you're not going to be a winner, and you're not going to be fun to be with. And how many people are telling themselves a story that they let their family down, or the world down, or they let the creator down, or they let somebody down? And they keep telling themselves this story. At least, you know what? If you're suffering because you feel like you let somebody down, I want you to call them every day and let them know. I just want you to know that I'm still suffering. They're going to be like, what do you mean? Well, I know I did you wrong. Yeah, but that was 20 years ago and we were drunk. Oh, crap.
Laugh again.
What?
Laugh again, I like it.
Yeah. I was told earlier that if we don't have you laugh every 5 minutes, it could be dangerous. I'm kidding. Okay, so listen. Why aren't you allowed to smile when everybody else is suffering? Why aren't you allowed to smile when there's crisis in the world? No, why don't you just go and feed it? Does anybody know something? That the more you feed a belief, the bigger it gets? And what if you're feeding a belief that is really toxic? Well, guess what it's going to do? It's going to eat you up. Oh, that would be called dis-ease. That would be called out of balance. So you just go ahead and kick the living crap out of yourself. Oh, wait a minute, it's 3:15. I just want everybody to know that I'm keeping up with the program. And by the way, I clap myself for an hour almost every night. And I use a clapper. Where's the clapper? And I do, because I go at high pace and I keep on stirring things up and challenging things so people want to challenge me, right? I don't come into their homes, I don't come into their businesses, I don't come and tell them anything, but just because I want to just tell everyone that they should have unconditional love and care and that everybody can be wealthy and everybody can be healthy and we can have it all because there's enough of everything, and that's the way it is, I'm in trouble. Who do you think you are? We can't be abundant. We need to be punished. So clapping. That's how hard I clap. And I do it for about 5 nights a week. And I'll do it on my neck, my shoulders, my face, my head. Do you know how much stress relief that is? How many people here know that you do not have one stiffness, no swelling, you'd have no inflammation, you'd have no pain if you didn't have scar tissue or displaced calcium or crystallization somewhere in your body. And we can get rid of it all. We are the greatest therapists that I know. And I travel a lot, don't I? A lot. And understand, if I see something that's better than I'm doing, I'll drop what I have and I'll go get that right away. Do you understand that? Some of you are thinking I'm cocky. Some of you think I have an ego. I do not have an ego. I do not have an ego. Okay, but I am not going to humble myself down in front of you, the government, or anyone else. Only that which created the universe will I humble myself down in front of. And I will be loud, and I will be proud, and I will live the life that I want, whether you like it or not. I will do what I want, and I will have never done anything to you to harm you, except I will not match your beliefs, and that'll be enough to piss you off. Trust me, it happens. And I love you with all my heart. You have no idea how much I love you because you are me and I am you. And when we leave here, we're all going to that big spirit ball again. And I don't think we're going to be judged, but the reality is I'd like you to go, hey, there's the guy that said I was full of it. That's all. All right, I don't want to keep talking. Let's find out if anybody has any questions. Anybody have any questions? Any health questions? Anything you'd like to ask? Yes. Why don't you come up and sit with me? Okay, here's the deal. You want to know something? Why is he trying to embarrass me? I did nothing to him. Okay, I love you too. Listen to me. You know what? I want a beautiful life. I want to stand out, but I don't want to stand out. I want it different, but I don't want different. I don't know what to do with you guys. I just don't know. I think we all need therapy. What do you think? Have a seat, sweetie. What do you want to ask?
I just wanted to find out some more about structured water.
Structured water. Okay, well, rainwater is structured water. Waterfalls are structured water. So is there waterfalls around here? Because it's just, if you can find a mountain, it comes down off a mountain. If you can find that, and there's not a lot of people that live around there, because, yeah, okay? But if you can find water that comes down off a mountain and runs really fast, that's structured water. If you can collect rain, which is illegal in some states, you're not allowed to collect rain. Why? Because guess what? It doesn't matter if it has heavy metals or chemicals or chemtrails in it. You can drink it and it won't bother you. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I hope you know that, guys. You know, when you go buy your bottled water, the plastic is petroleum. And you do know that every bottled water has over 120 chemicals in it? Okay? You just got sucker punched. Oh, I love when you see the dads there and they're at Costco and they got the big flexible plastic bottles, the ones that, you know, when you drink the water, you can taste the plastic, which is actually carcinogens. That's really cool. And the kids are drinking that. Here, take that to school. But the reality is you see them with these big things and they're on here and they're just like, oh, they're so proud. I'm coming home with the water. But guess what? We are the smartest species in the room. Structured water is real science. It's called fourth phase water. And understand, there was Gerald Pollack, don't believe me, just go and look at third-party research on structured water. So here's reality. So there are 2,500 to 3,000 little sheets that make up a drop. You bet you didn't know that. Oh, you're not supposed to know real science. So there's 2,500 to 3,000 sheets that make up a droplet. And when that droplet comes into your body has to structure it. If it doesn't structure it, it can't get into your cells. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. Did you know that the water that you get from fruit and vegetables is structured? Oh, but not the stuff that you buy in the box. It's not. It's pasteurized. It's not structured anymore, and it's highly acidic, and it's going to poison you. Yeah, but this is concentrated orange juice. And how many people know that when you drink orange juice, you actually put your immune system into crisis for 35 minutes? You should never drink orange juice. And if you want to drink orange juice, then you should dilute it, 25% orange juice and 75% water, because you just blew your blood sugar out. Okay? And just know that natural juices, even fruit juices, do not feed cancer. That's BS. Okay? Because man-made sugars, and when processed sugars, they have a right spin and they go directly into a cancer cell. That's why they use what? What do they use? Radiated sugar when they go to test you to see if you have cancer, because it goes right to where? Right to the cancer cell. So understand, I want to ask you a question. Do you ever think about this? Let me see here. So we know that sugar inflames the cancer cell, the processed sugar. So why are they giving me processed sugar that will inflame the cell, which means that it could take it from stage 1 to 2 or stage 1 to 3? Did you not think about that? Okay, I hope most people haven't. Okay, so structured water, I got off track. Okay, all right. Okay, pull me back. So structured water. Here's the beauty about structured water that's going to be hard to believe. So you know that you could actually get on a phone call, okay? You could get on a phone call and you could call China in 30 seconds. Now, if we went back 60 years and we said, here, I'm going to call China, that person would drop the phone. Voodoo, voodoo. So now some of you are going to be saying, voodoo, voodoo, poodoo. Okay, you are. And that's okay. Because guess what? It doesn't match your beliefs. Remember something. Why do you like people? Because they match your beliefs. And if you don't like them if they don't match your beliefs. But when you have unconditional love, I don't care what your beliefs are. I'm going to love you anyway. I hope you get that. Because now I get structured. You know, happy people structure their own blood. Unhappy people don't structure their blood. They destructure it. And that you can look that under a microscope. So, you know, that's real science. Welcome to the world of being an electrical magnetic light energy being, which you forgot you were. Because it's hard to, right? Because you're looking and you see all these physical bodies, and you know that, guess what? There's actually a spirit, light energy spirit, that's being infused in you 24 hours a day. But there's no time. Time doesn't exist. And did you actually know that your body, all of the atoms and particles are not even touching? This is all science. But you think you've got a good handle on this. I want you to do something. When somebody says to you something and it's right off the wall, it's right, like way out there, okay? I want you to take a breath. Okay, try to take this in. Try to just be an open book for just a bit. You can always throw it in the garbage an hour later, but your subconscious is always going to do something. What's that? If something doesn't match, or if something isn't close to what you believe in, it will throw it out. You have seen things in your life that excited you so much at the beginning, and then guess what? You didn't do this. You only have 1 second. 3, 2, 1, I got this. And stay in your conscious mind. Don't go down to your subconscious mind. And guess what? You left an opportunity, fall off the cliff. And you do it every day because you're programmed. I want different. I want huge. I want exciting. I want adventure. Let's get back to the water. This all comes together, I'm telling you. So when you structure water, or anything, you can pour anything through here and structure it, anything you drink, any liquid. When you structure water and it goes through here, it actually, there's different gemstones in here, but the way that this is situated in here, it causes the water to actually what? Flow in all directions at the same time. It unravels the frequency of any chemical, drug, heavy metal, or anything that's in it, so it won't harm you. Even if there was heavy metals, or there was bacteria, or other things, bad bacteria, other things in here, it's not going to touch me. You're going to go, BS. That's a bad belief system, Daryl, and I'm going to tell you something. Then why don't you answer me this? How is it, okay, does anybody notice we got fake skies? Fake clouds? Okay. Well, the reality is, before we had that, we had acid rain, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, so now we got that and that. Lucky us. Okay, so now, when that comes down, remember something, that which I would call my creator knew that, guess what? When water goes up into the ozone layer, it always gets structured, naturally. So when that rain comes down, even though there's, guess what? All that stuff we just talked about in there, why isn't it the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, and the microorganisms and being injured? And why is it that the crops grow just as good as today as they did 500 years ago? Structured water. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, seriously. Okay, and smoke it as often as you need to get it in here. I will go under any tap anywhere around the world, as long as it doesn't come out yellow. And I mean that. And I will structure that water and drink it. I will not go buy bottled water and do it. It's no better. And guess what? I don't need a filtration system, but where we lived in Ixtapa, we would filter the water with a Berkeyum. And then, but when I was at the office, did we structure it, honey? No, we just went under the tap, anywhere in Mexico. We're traveling all over the world, and if you want, I'll do a video. Oh, here I am, being a fool, taking tap water, and I'm going to drink it. And the reality is you think when you spend money with the bottled water, and you spend money filtering your water, and when you spend money, okay, also, does anybody know this? That distilled water won't hydrate your cells? Do you know this, that reverse osmosis won't do it? It's not natural water. But if you structure reverse osmosis and distilled water, it brings back to life. So I'm not telling you not to do it. You could do spring water. Somebody says, I have a well. Well, I'd still structure it under you, because well water is not structured water. I told you what structured water was: waterfalls, fast-moving rivers, and rain. That's it. or from structure units. So there's your choice. Okay, so there's always options out there. So when you structure water, are you ready for this? No, wait, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this. I love this one. And this one's science. You can go and look it up yourself. And here's the deal. When you go ahead. Why don't you, let's do this. We need it really pure because guess what? We're all impure sinners. We couldn't get pure enough water if we tried. We got to pure everything, right? Everything's got to be pure. Pure, pure, pure. So why don't we do this? Why don't we distill it, run it through a reverse osmosis, and then we'll run it through a charcoal filter. And guess what? I'll just run my water through a structure unit and it's healthier than yours. Because guess what? You took all the physical out. And what did I tell you today? I told you the what was more important than the visible? What did I say? Oh, yeah. So there you go. The invisible is more important than the physical. Frequency is more important because why? What are we? We are light, energy, electrical, magnetic beings. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, how about this? I'm going to change the lecture. Okay, you're all good for nothing. You'll never do anything or go anywhere. You're not going to stay here. You're going to leave. That's going to bring you down. So everything is frequency. So you're not going to hang around with people that are going to bring you down. You're not going to eat things that are going to bring you down. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here's the deal. You want to bring your vibration up. Okay, so when you run water through a structure unit, guess what it does? It reprograms it, gives you a brand new slate. How many people know that structured water will hydrate into the body 1,000% better than any other water? Okay? So still drink the water that you want to make you feel safe. And then what I'd like you to do is, let's say you structure one glass and another glass you don't structure, okay? And then bring your family in and ask them which one tastes better and feels better. A mosquito can land on structured water and drown. There's no surface tension. We want to get rid of the surface tension, but what it does is it gets rid of the frequency. You can go and purify as much as you want your water, but the frequency of the drugs, the heavy metals, the chemicals, and the negative bugs are still in it, even if they're gone. And guess what? Water will go into the purification of the city 17 times and in a toilet 17 times before it's structured again. Did you get that? Water, okay, so the water, okay, all right, is also going to be going into the toilet, okay, was in the toilet. And it's going to then go to the city water supply, and they're going to purify it with chemicals, and then it's going to come back around, and I'm going to drink it again. It's going to go 17 times before, because eventually the water will evaporate and go up to the sky and then be structured. So your chances of drinking structured water is only 1 out of 17 times. Do you understand? Naturally. Unless you're doing what we just said. Okay? Now, when you drink structured water, did you know that you're going to actually hydrate your cells 1,000% faster? So you're going to lose weight faster, detoxify faster. You're going to have more energy. Thank you. Right. All right. And you're welcome, sweetie. You know, we were talking about frequency, and understand something. How much frequency does a donut have? Yeah, and if you eat enough of them, do you look like a donut? So you bring that frequency in. You see? Everything is frequency. Okay? How does it feel after you eat a donut? Okay? Uplifting? Okay, it feels heavy around here, right? Well, there's no energy. You didn't bring any energy in, right? So we're always going to be looking for high vibrational people, high vibrational things to drink, high vibrational things to eat. And remember something, everything you eat and drink leaves the body, and only the frequency and the light stays behind. So your physical body was not made by any physical thing. It was made by the frequency that was in what you ate or drank or thought. Okay? All right. So go structure yourself over there. How do you structure yourself? Give yourself a big hug.
Yeah.
Okay? Praise yourself.
Thank you.
The colors, one's blue and one's white. Is it?
No, gray one's cheap.
The gray one's cheaper, and I think they're trying to get rid of them because they're gray. Huh. But it's the same one. So if there's any gray ones, buy a gray one. They're cheaper. Okay? And if you don't like it and you don't think that we sold you something that doesn't work, you got 90 days to return it. How's that? Oh, the material, the blue is more expensive. Yeah.
So does it ever like run out of its frequency?
I'd like to say yes because Lori has bad spending habits. Yes. I'll say yes. No, it'll never break down, never wear out. Okay, we've got to remember something. We want to try to empower people, not disempower them. Anything you have to throw out, you might want to think about it, right? Okay.
Biggest container you can get, is that cool?
Well, that's not a container, love. If I put that under a tap, I could run it all day long and we could sell structured water all over the world.
Like a funnel type thing. Oh,
Okay? And guess what? Let's say that you get really stressed out, okay? All right, if you get really stressed out, if you take this and breathe it, like this, just 3 times in, you've taken in structured water, it'll calm you right down. And never breathe through your mouth if you can help it, unless you do this, because when you breathe through your mouth, it's not structured air. When you breathe through your nose, it twirls it and it structures your air so that it can go deeper into your brain and into your cells, okay? All right, so would you guys like to run through products and we'll talk about what they're good for? Would you feel good about that? Okay, I just want to ask because, all right? Okay, so let's go through them. And can we make sure they have the other mic? So, there's no handheld, right? Okay.
We got
What?
the two.
Okay, well, make sure if somebody has a question, just put your hands up. And please, if you have a question about somebody that has a symptom that turned into a dis-ease. Guys, do you notice something? Here's the deal. I hope you know this. So these psycho guys, right? The psycho ones, right? Okay, well, they're never going away. And they're always going to be in charge of the money and the government and the medical system. You know what? Because they created it and it's toxic. Why do you want it? Now, the reality is that you have a chance to wake up if you want. The reality is it's not going away. It's not going away. Oh, I love this one. The medical system is crumbling. No, your family is. Your health is. Your finances are. Without your health, there is no wealth. Okay. All right, let's go through this. You want to pick them? And I'll talk about them. Okay. So I want you to challenge me too. Okay. Don't just let me talk and say stuff. I will tell you that I've been in business now, in the health business for 45 years. I really have been. Okay. It's not something I made up. And I'm just going to move this a little bit. Okay. I didn't make that up. And I want you to know something. I learned a long time ago, it's not supplementation, it's nutraceutical. Do you know what that means? That means that when you get a product that's not good enough, you have to get a product that has the highest frequency in it. Why? Because everything physical leaves and the frequency stays behind. So I'm going to talk about thunder shrooms, okay? Thunder shrooms are mushrooms. So everybody knows that mushrooms are healing, right? Does everybody know that mushrooms are healing because they go in and they agitate and irritate the immune system to grow up and become more and to straighten up and become the best it can be? That's what they do. Whether you're talking about mushrooms in your salad or the ones that you buy. Now, how many people know that 95 to 98%, because I can't tell you exactly because it's not an exact science, of the mushrooms that you buy are only, 2 to 6 weeks old. How many people know that? And they're grown in a lab. It doesn't mean they're not good for you. It means they're good for you. Now, our thunder shrooms are good for one thing, and guess what? They are the world's best at bringing back your immune system. There's not another product that'll do it faster. So thunder shrooms, okay? Thunder shrooms are grown on the side of trees. They're wild in Asia, and the critical care ones are 90 years old, okay? 90 years old. They're not 2 weeks to 6 weeks old. Every one of my products, you can go online, you can take a look at the videos. And then guess what? Don't be afraid to challenge us on it, okay? But there's nothing like this. Anybody have any questions about them? Yes.
Are they good for autoimmune?
Well, first of all, autoimmune, do you want to give it that to her in case she wants to ask other things? Autoimmune, first of all, okay, is where your body is attacking itself. And when you're attacking yourself, okay, does anybody understand that the more infected you are, the more inflammation you have, the less immune system you have? So the reality is that what is an autoimmune disease but an immune deficiency? So I just want to make sure you understand it. So you're immune deficient. If we can bring up your immune system, but wouldn't it be cool if that brings up your immune system and we could get you to do structured water and we could get you to drink at least 3 to 4 quarts a day of structured water, and we're going to make it hot, not hot like burning, but in between warm to hot, because it melts mucus. And guess what? We all got boogers. Sometimes our poop will stick and we kind of shake it to come out. Okay? Sometimes we've got wax in the ears, right? Yes or no? Okay, sticky, glicky food is what we eat, and sticky, glicky thoughts. And remember something, okay? Any inflammatory foods and any infectious thoughts are going to create inflammation. When you have inflammation, your body makes extra mucus. That's why you have the mucus, okay? Because you've inflamed yourself, all right? Okay, and that's why when you get a cold or a flu, okay, you got to drip, because what happens is that when you get a flu, you have to drip it out because it's not eaten up by bacteria, fungus, or parasites, because they won't eat it. Do you know why they won't eat what we call viruses? Because viruses are just heavy metals and chemicals. You do know that, right? You do that now, I hope. And we have about 300 different solvents, heavy metals and chemicals. The reason why people are getting worse colds and flus now is because of blue light and because of 5G, but because they put more chemicals and heavy metals in your food on purpose, so that you're going to get a worse flu. It's not rocket science. So then what happens is solvents go in and to break these down, because your parasites, all those different parasites, they're intelligent enough to know not to eat this stuff because they'll die. Did you get that? And that's the God's truth. So the only way you're going to get it out is to drip it out from some orifice, right? Okay, where was I? Okay, let's just stay with the. Let's just go with let's start, and we'll go with the humics, and we'll work all along this way like this. That'd be great. Okay, I want to talk about this because everybody says, and I get it. Okay, here's the deal. You ever notice what people say when they're not interested? I don't have enough time and I don't have enough money, right? Okay, so if you don't have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of money, remember something, everybody. What is the most problem that everybody has? What's the most problem that everybody has? Bowels. Everybody. Now, you don't just have bowel problems. Okay, so when I came out with the daily cleansing tea, okay, and this has no laxative, no stimulant in it, and what it's going to do is it goes in and it actually cleans all your detox organs. How many people know you have detox organs? Your skin is your largest. Your next, okay, we've got your bowel, you got your liver. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. I knew she was going to go when I started talking about bowels and poop. Okay. Well, it's not a turn on. Honey, do we really need to see this? Okay. So understand that daily cleansing tea, remember something. I want to ask you a question. Does medical care work like this? That until something's broken, you don't think about it, and then you go and freak out, and then you run, and then they tell you they'll keep an eye on it? How am I doing? Okay, so now I'll leave that to the side because they're the best at emergency care, not me. I get it. But here's the deal. How about natural health? How many people here go and say this? You know what? Every 6 months, I like to do a cleanse. Why is that? Well, I feel like crap. Well, why would you ever let yourself feel like crap? What if you were to do something that wasn't a laxative, wasn't a stimulant, and you were to do it every day? And it would cost you about the same as a medium coffee. I'm not kidding, guys. I'll give you my phone number. And you can tell me that I lied about it if you want, but this is the first and foremost. Your large intestine is 85% of your immune system. Your large intestine, okay, is the compost of your body, creating your good bacteria and making them stronger. And it's your good bacteria that create most of the information that goes to your brain to tell your brain what to do. Isn't that something? So take a look at most people's area, their core or their abdomen, and tell me how good a shape that is in. It's pretty bad, isn't it? And that's where the whole world, you know what the sixth extinction is? You know that the planet has went extinct 5 times. That's science. We will go extinct again, and that means that approximately 60% of the population is leaving. You don't believe me? 86% of the population has an autoimmune disease. As much as 90% of the population is overweight in some states and provinces. They can just sit back and watch it all happen now. We're eating ourselves to death. And we're rotting. We're rotting, okay? You shouldn't smell under your arms. You shouldn't. Your bowel movements shouldn't smell. You shouldn't, after you eat, bloat, okay? All right? I can keep going on. We could be here for 2 hours just talking about that. But can I say something? Write this down for those of you that are really want to learn. Go to my library at docofdetox.com and watch Reverse the Irreversible. That was a masterclass. We used to sell it for $1,000. There's another one you should look at, How to Become #1 at the Art of Number 2. I'm serious. Watch it. I will give you more real science, more health, more strategy in those 2 videos than anything else. Also, if you want to get on the emotional train, go watch. This is the 32-day course. We don't charge for it. We give it free now because we can't do this. We got to get it out there. It's called Braveheart Online Emotional Intelligence Course. And go do those things and then go through the library. Everything is there that you need. Everything is there that you need. So the daily cleansing tea will clean all 5 of your organs out gently every day, not laxative-like. They support it so they work better. Kidneys, liver, skin, okay? Lymph system and lungs, all right, and bloodstream, okay?
What's in it?
There's 5 herbs in, what? Okay, first of all, what you do is you take 1 bag and you put it into, you boil it in 1 gallon of water. And then that 1 gallon of water, then you're gonna let the bag, okay, so we're gonna boil a gallon of water. I hope it would be great if it's structured. If it isn't, doesn't matter, just make it, okay? You're gonna boil it. Once it comes to a boil, okay? Here, do you wanna give them the bag so they can read it? Because we have to keep jumping to the next one. Whoever asked what's in it, you can, okay, or you can share it. Okay, so you're gonna bring 1 gallon of water to a boil. Then you're gonna put 1 tea bag in. As soon as it boils, let me start again. You're gonna put 1 gallon of water into a pot. You're gonna bring it to a boil. As soon as it boils, turn it off. Then put the tea bag in. Then put the lid on. Then let it sit there for 8 hours. And then you're gonna drink, starting off 4 ounces in the morning, 4 ounces at night. You wanna have, for the first, listen to me, this is really important. For the first 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, you wanna have 3 bowel movements, and they look like calplops. They're not diarrhea, they're calplops. We wanna know that we're loosening things up in all of the detox organs. Okay? All right? And so then you're gonna work your way up to 8 ounces twice a day. Now, those of you who have large intestines that are in spasm, constricted, scar tissue, or laying inside of you like a limp snake, okay, because there's no tone left, you may have to use 2 bags. And you might have to do a 4-ounce shot at the beginning. Look, I'm gonna tell you something, no matter what condition you're in, if you were to do our pelvic squats, our crab stretch, belly button therapy, clapping, the ultimate coffee enema, okay, vaginal infusion for women, you can cut to the chase. It's not gonna cost you thousands of dollars. When the hardest problem you're gonna have is this, to take time and do things for yourself. And when you do that, your family's gonna go, you're so selfish. And you're gonna say, wow, I'm just trying to save my life. Okay, all right. Where's the caps? Yeah, okay, these here, have no laxative in them. These here are for on the go. So if I was going to take a trip in the car, I can't make the tea, can I? If I was going to fly, okay, what we do is the only time I really take this is like right now when I'm in the hotel, I just take one. I'll take one at night because I'm not making the tea when I'm traveling here. As soon as I go to Stewart, Florida, I'm there for 3 weeks. So, and we're rented a house because we're down there doing the teaching the course. Just like when we come back here in July, right? It's July? Yep. In July, we'll be here 3.5 weeks. So all my tea, but really quickly, I don't do without. You all know that when you got a call, you traveled for 1 day, your bowels were messed up for days, and it ruined the trip. And also, when you go, you don't eat the same, it changes. So if you were to do like 1 or 2 caps before you go to bed, wow, there it is, it's out. How does it feel when you're bloated? Well, guess what? How many people know that, well, first of all, how many people know that 750,000 sets of ovaries and uteruses were cut out this year? 750,000. And how many people know that they were cut out because women are pooping in their pelvis? Because of autoimmune disease. How many people know that autoimmune disease is called leaky gut? How many people know it's not a leaky gut? My gut's not leaking. It's your large intestine is like a screen door in the because you eat animal products and there's antibiotics in it. And you're doing it every day, or eat cheese or Greek yogurt that's going to save your life. Okay, and it's dead bacteria and it's pasteurized and you can't digest it and it inflames you. But it's the antibiotics in the yogurt, in the cheese, in the milk, and in all animal products unless it's free range and organic. Are you with me? Okay, but it's not that. When you go to, oh my God, I've got an earache, and then I take an antibiotic that goes all the way down here and blows up my large intestine and destroys good bacteria, but it got rid of the earache. What the heck is wrong with us? Okay, and I can show you how to get rid of an earache. A sinus problem. Look to nature. And don't buy our products, just go buy someone else's that are similar. Oh, sorry about that. But the reality is this, you know, you can't, if I came out and I was a medical doctor talking about a new drug, nobody would say a word. If I come out and talk about nature and we've got really great products, oh, what's he up to? He's up to something. Okay. Yeah, nobody loves a health nut, right? Okay. So here's the deal. So you want to take, when you're traveling, you want to take 1 of these or 2 of these at nighttime. And if you're really jammed up, and you're really sensitive, take 1 at night and 1 in the morning. And that's what you're going to do. When you look after your large intestine, you're looking after your whole life. Your large intestine is the compost of your body, creating your bacteria, and your bacteria are 85% of your immune system. I didn't say that. The Royal Society of Medicine said that. Okay? Remember something, everyone. If you're not from here, you can go online and get a consultation from us for $150. That consultation, okay, you're going to get 6 weeks of intensive support with our master trainers. You're going to get my Perfect Day Guide, which is the best health manual, it is, that you'll ever read. It's going to give you so much. It's going to blow your mind. It's worth way more than what you just paid. And guess what? You're going to get lifetime support from us. And if you don't get answers, you call me. I'll give you my phone number. It's 855. I'm number 5 on the 800 number, so now you don't pay a nickel. And if you want directly, call me 469-861-9454, and my phone's going to ring. I'm going to call you back. I call everybody back. Okay? And when you call, don't say, I don't want to bother you. I'm sorry to bother you. I'll make this quick. Please, can you just say, yeah, you work for me. Okay, and then I'm going to just work for you. And if I'm busy, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call you back and I'm going to do it. You understand? Who are you? You are the goddesses, gods of your life. You are the creators of your life, and you've got to step into your power. You have to step into your power, and you have to know that we work for you. No more rushing, taking your time and honoring yourself and finding a practitioner that will do that. I'm not kidding. And these practitioners are that. Don't kid yourself, but don't come to them if you don't want to get well, because you're going to get well if you just take some action. You're going to. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's simple. Okay.
Can you give your product to children?
No, that's a dangerous thing. Okay, first of all, I want to say something. We're all programmed. You can give everything that we have here to children. So let's say my child weighs 50 pounds. Let's say that if I had an adult dosage is for a 150-pound person. Okay, I know. But if you even weighed more, we wouldn't want you to take more to begin with because it's all vibrational. You have to understand, these are high vibrational products. So if the child weighed 50 pounds, then you would give them 1/3 of the dosage. And I would go and a little less and start easy with anything. And I don't say start easy because something's going to go wrong. There's no threat here. These are not drugs. I am not allowed to sell anything that is going to hurt anyone. Thank God. Do you understand? And understand something. If you buy something and you call my staff and they can't answer it, extension 5, I'm going to take all the time you want. I'm going to respect you for it. I am. Let me tell you something. You're not stupid and you're not dumb. And guess what? When you call me, do not look up to me. Do not be nervous. Do not be anything. I poop like you, okay? And I pee like the guys, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? I am right here with you. Do not look up to me, look at me. And when you call me, you're calling a friend. And if it sounds like I'm busy, sometimes I get busy, don't I? But there's no disrespect. If I say I'm going to call you back, within a couple hours, you're going to call me, and I'm not going to go, you're bugging me. You like crazy? You need to demand what you deserve, and that is everything. Do you get this? I mean it. Where do you think my money goes? I pay practitioners, okay? I pay them really well, and we only charge you $150, and we give you a PDF, a 360-page PDF, and we give you lifetime support. That means that you could call 10 times a day. Do you understand this? And not one of my people will ever disrespect you and say she's annoying, because you're not annoying. You know what? You're asking questions because you matter. And when there's no more questions left, you will know how to love and honor and respect your body. And that's it. We're not going to call you. You got to you guys got to call us. I want everything. That's what we want to hear. Do I tell you that? I say, look, the more you come after me, the more I'm coming after you. If you don't call me, why, we're here to help the people that are awake and know that they want more. Do you want more? Then demand it. Demand it. And then guess what? If you can't get it from someone, that's the wrong person. And if they scare you, it's the wrong person. If they encourage you and tell you that you're beautiful and that you got this, they're the right person. We are emotional beings, and what we say matters to each other.
The only thing that bugs him is me calling him, asking where my cell sonic is.
Yeah. And I want to talk about that before we do run out of time, and that's this. If it's on the slideshow, you can look at it and you can go through there and see if you can find it. But guess what, guys? There's 2 things that we use in our clinic the most. And one's called the Cell Sonic. I have to tell you about it because, well, you don't have to do it that way. You can just slide up the slides. Well, they can do it that way. They get to watch it all. Okay, here's the deal. Did I tell you that frequency and vibration is an important thing? Well, what do you think if we could actually use a device that was 1,000 volts, put it into your body? But that would kill you, wouldn't it? You could put your finger into a socket and that could well, this 25,000 device, you can't hurt anyone, but it puts 25,000 volts into a field. So it'll do the same as 25,000 volts, but it's in a field. It will actually decalcify the mitochondria, which is in your cells. All your cells have mitochondria. That's it there. All your cells have mitochondria. Okay? Mitochondria, do you know what they are? They're the powerhouse of every cell. They're in every cell. Guess what? They are what give you life. They give you energy. They create ATP. How many people know that your mitochondria spin 2,500 times per second? Try to think about that. Try to spin around once per second. They spin 2,500 times per second. Now, do you know how much they spin with somebody who has stage 4 inflammation? 300 times. Somebody has a chronic illness, around 600 to 1,000. And now they're not making enough energy. The person, guess what? You don't have energy because your cells calcified. Why did they calcify? The same reason that you have kidney stones is because you had to pull calcium from your bones to stop you from getting what? Ready for this? To go into a coma or die or cancer. Those are the three things. And the reason why you pull so much calcium from your bones is because if your blood pH just goes down a little bit, you have to pull calcium from your bones to go in there, because if it goes down just a little bit, you go into coma. It goes down a little bit more, you die. Your blood pH is the most important thing. So the reality is this: when you freak out, did you know that your cells, does everybody know you have a fingerprint, right? How many people know that you have your own cell print and there's not another cell print like it on the planet? That's science. I hope you know that. Does anybody know why you have that cell print? Because I told you before that your spirit is coming in 24/7. And when you get freaked out and you fear, or you do enough inflammatory products, you actually are sending calcium into the cells, and you're actually creating a thick skin outside the cells to try to, when you fear, do you curl down? Do you curl down? Okay, do you breathe really low like this? Well, that's what happens. Cellular respiration of your cells goes down when you're in fear. It goes down when you're acidic and inflamed. And when you're really inflamed, the calcium ions, they go into your cell and calcify your mitochondria, and now they can't spin. They didn't tell you that, did they? No, they're not going to. So guess what? I can use this, and wherever I put it on the body, I'm going to decalcify the mitochondria in one pulse. 25,000 volts field. Now understand, you may not have to, but it'll shut down. But it won't, because the personality of the person didn't change, their habits didn't change. You have that certain type of cancer because you have that certain type of personality. You have that certain symptom because you have that personality. I already told you that your personality creates your reality, and if you don't want to change your personality, you're not going to change your disease. But guess what? Let's take massive personal action and willpower and not truly love ourselves and change. The disease only goes away until we get exhausted, and then it comes back. Yes or no? Or why? And then guess what? Remember what I told you? The story you tell yourself will be what you become. Why do you get cancer coming back? Because the same thing that triggered the cancer, the emotion that triggered it, you reactivated it. Oh, you think I'm kidding? And then guess what? So here's the deal. That calcium that you're taking from your bones is going to calcify the mitochondria. They slow down. They can't make the ATP. You can't get out of bed. So this does way more than that. How many people here know that right from arthritis to a fibroid to a tumor to I've got stenosis in the spine and I got to have surgery. Do you know how many, anybody that comes to us, any condition, we give them a money back guarantee on the first treatment that they will have enough faith in their self and their healing that they will cancel. Okay, did we have somebody come how many days ago?
Which one are you talking about?
Did we have somebody come that was supposed to go to surgery for his back?
Yes.
Is he going to surgery?
No. Just talked to him this afternoon.
And I did one what? How long? 1 hour? Was it an hour and 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe an hour, 10 minutes.
Oh, but I worked my butt off. Okay? But I worked hard on him. And guess what? The next day he said, I have a fever. And that was a low back problem. Remember something, issues in your tissues? I said that your emotions create everything. And I said, guess what? I hope you know, I did 4 non-surgical treatments using my elbow, pulling the scar tissue apart, dislodging the calcium and melting the crystallization. You can believe it or not, but he had was it this big on one side? And on the other side, it was this big. It was calcium and scar tissue. It felt like a rubber mat. And then right where L3, L4, L5 was totally fused together, I had the whole back loosened. And the calcium deposit, was it there? It was totally gone. You couldn't find it. Because guess what? We do not get rid of scar tissue. We do not get rid of calcium. Do you know what happens? When you restore the energy, the field of the spirit being, it turns it back in instantly into connective tissue. So if I pull the fibers apart and allow the energy flow of the blood, the lymph, and the energy to get in here, it instantly comes back to connective tissue, beautiful tissue, and you're healed. Understand something. When the chiropractor keeps adjusting you, he's trying to push it back in. Guess why it pops out? Because the tendon is beef jerky, so the tendon's shorter. The ligament's shorter. The muscles are shorter. The beef jerky. I already told you that. So we're going to go in and open up those, because you know, oh, I have a knot in my neck. Our technique, Wolfe Non-Surgical, will get rid of the knot, open up the fibers, and we'll give you a money back guarantee, won't we? Every one of my therapists come to training. That's the deal. And if they have to give the money back, they're going to call me, and I got to give them the money, and then we got to sit down together and figure out what went wrong. Now, one out of maybe a couple hundred people are going to want their money back anyways because they need to pay the rent. I'm not kidding. And guess what? That's our donation. If you think that you're, let me ask you a question. If you say that you're a practitioner, should you give money back guarantee? If you can't give a guarantee on your work, then what's that say about your work? So this is where the world has gone. So I'm going to tell you something. We're going to guarantee our work. We're going to guarantee our consultation. Let me tell you something. If we may give you a happier, healthier day, you can put the cane in the corner, or you stop limping, or you're not, or this one, you're bone on bone. If I have to hear that one more time, I think I'm going to cry. You're not bone on bone. You pulled the calcium out. It calcified the cartilage, and the cartilage is still there. You're not bone on bone. And even if the cartilage was down to 10%, we can bring it back. Let me tell you something. The non-surgical will prove it to you. But when we use the cell sonic in the non-surgical, trust me, we're bringing home the thunder. And also, they got a cardio med bed. You don't know what that is. But guess what? Let me just tell you a couple little stories. I don't want to get into this and make it into a sales pitch. Yes, you got to go to the bathroom. I'm going to be there in a second. Okay? But you probably have to go to the bathroom, don't you? Okay. No. So here's the deal. A cardio med bed is something you lay on it, and what happens is, in between your heartbeat, these cuffs come together, and they create contraction on your lower leg, your upper leg, and your pelvis. How many people believe that if you had perfect circulation, you have perfect health? Yeah. Any place that you have pain, swelling, stiffness, or a disease, you do not have proper circulation. That's the deal. So now, are you ready for this? So Mr. Jones comes to us, and he's got a 90% blockage in his heart, and they tell him he has to have surgery. Oh, this is where I'm going to get in trouble. But guess what? I have all the science. I've got 500 studies done by medical hospitals and research centers on this. We'll put you on there for 35 hours, and even if we didn't change your diet, and even if we didn't get you on the nutraceuticals, this will actually create circulation, and the way it works in between the heartbeat, that even if you were blocked 90%, you'll have a whole new set of arteries in 35 hours. 35 hours of being on the bed, that is. So we could actually, if somebody said if they come away and they fly to him, they could come morning and night, and they could be there for, and that would be, you know, probably 17 to 23 days, okay? And you're going to see it. How about this? How about being impudent and taking usually 3 treatments to bring you back? Remember something, it's all about circulation. And it doesn't matter what condition, what symptom you talk about. So let's say that we got you to buy into structured water and warm water, and you drank enough, 3/4 of an ounce for every pound you are. Let's say that we got you to buy into the perfect day diet where you're doing 2 salads a day, 2 blender drinks a day. Now you're starting to juice. And now you drop the inflammatory products like the flours, the sugars, the dairy, all the new and improved foods that they have out there. Let's say you did that. Let's say that you did that, okay? Do you know what? We'd bring the thunder home. You would be a walking miracle. Understand this. What are the two things that get rid of cellulite and fat faster than anything else? Cellsonic and the cardio med bed. So there you go. I don't want to get into it and give it the big sales pitch, but it doesn't matter what your problem is. Okay? And then let's say we do the non-surgical and we pull the beef jerky apart. Whether you want to believe this or not, we'll have people walk in and they're holding the rail to come down the stairs, and then we'll do one treatment on their knee, okay? And they're walking out. I don't care who you are. If you're 40 years old, you would need about 15 to 20 hours of non-surgical, and you'd have the body that you had when you're in your 20s. If you're about 50, 60, you would need maybe about 35 to 40 hours, and you would have the body. Do you know what old age is? Scar tissue, displaced calcium, and crystallization. Hey, listen, if I was wrong, I wouldn't be able to buy these shirts. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when we were getting training on the cardiac bed, one of the things that the
Come closer
manufacturer
to me
was,
so we can. Yeah.
one of the things the manufacturer was saying is this is exercise, the best exercise you're going to get
There's nothing better in the world.
without exercising.
Yeah.
Which I thought that's a cool pitch, because that can bring it in, not a pitch so much, but a way for people to understand. Like, this is something that is going to change your life.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Central Time, 6 o'clock, Friday night, on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm going to play the interview we did with them.
Yeah.
You're going to have your mind blown. If you go on my website and you look under Cellsonic, or you go to Power Pack, we call it the Power Pack. There's nothing like it in the world. I just know this. Does anybody know why I closed the clinic down in Mexico? Because I'm traveling around and I am going to create these power packs, and I am going to create the world's most powerful practitioners. They are going to stand in their power, okay, and understand something. You need to get this. I have practitioners that come one time, and that's only what? A 22-day training. And guess what? They give a money-back guarantee. And understand something. You all got ruled, schooled, and fooled. You thought you had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you had to go to school for years. And understand something. It's all about logic, and it's all about loving yourself and caring for yourself. And it's all about nature, and it's all about our Creator. And you can take it or leave it. Let me tell you something. If we were to remove everything that you've known, everything that you know right now about health, remove it all, okay? I could sit here and we could go over things. If we could start with a new slate, and I could spend 2 hours with you, and we would turn it all around. But guess what we have to come up against? Your subconscious, which has these dominant, prominent programs to say that things are genetic. Did you know there's no genetic diseases? They're epigenetic. Why don't you give me some scientific proof? Why don't you give me some scientific proof? Come on, let's see it. Let's see it. You know, quit talking about how everybody else talks, because it's not true. Okay? You are not dealt a bad hand. Okay? You are dealt bad beliefs. Okay. Anyways, I just got to tell you that in Mexico, people were coming from all over the world, and we were completely busy all the time. All the time. And we were so successful that I don't want to get into it, but the Canadian government decided to try to see if they could just make me look like a bad guy. And they can keep on trying. Just remember something. I'm traveling for the next 8 months, and I'm sending people to my practitioners. I do not get a commission. Why am I doing this? Because I'm going to prove, they really pissed me off. I'm going to prove that unconditional love and that all of these diseases are you out of alignment and out of balance. And every physical problem is either scar tissue, calcium, or crystallization. And I'm okay. Get your doctor, get your scientist. We'll go live on my show. And it won't be to attack each other. It'll be what? to enlighten each other. And if I don't understand something or know something, please tell me. But I haven't seen anything better. And when's the last time that practitioners said they give you money back guarantee? We're either hard up or we know what we're talking about. So what do you got to lose? So that's the deal right there. And this is not a sales pitch. I'm not making any money. I don't have a clinic. Isn't that great? He doesn't have a clinic. So what is he doing now? Well, he must be up to something. There's got to be something he's up to. Okay, let's go through the products here. Oh, you have a question? Susan, 1 second, okay?
Alicia introduced me to the Cellsonic.
Alicia introduced you to the Cellsonic?
So I went to Toronto, but before I went, I had a live blood cell analysis.
Can you come up here? Do you mind coming up and sitting with me? Okay, all right. I know some people don't want to be seen with me because it could cause trouble, but. Come on up here, sweetie. What? Oh, yes, you are.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, all right.
So,
Can you sit here? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Beautiful. No, no, bring it on in, baby. Bring it on in. Lori, please leave the room.
so Alicia introduced me to Cellsonic with a conversation, and I was interested to hear because I've been into alternative therapies my whole life.
Yep.
I'll be 70 on 9/11 this year. So I went to Toronto to try out the Cellsonic, and before I went, I did a live blood cell analysis. So I don't make any money. I've never even done this before. So I'm just telling you guys, you don't need to worry about a sales pitch.
We did say that we give her a glass of poo tea.
I have a bag of tea. I haven't tried it yet, but I haven't. But I did a live blood cell analysis, and the lady said, well, you have oxidative stress. A few little other minor things, but nothing too big of a deal. I went, had the Cellsonic treatment, came back, and 6 days after I had the treatment, and the treatment we had is just all straight down the spine because I didn't think I had like a specific thing to fix because, whatever. I guess we all have things we don't even know what they are. And so.
Can I say something before you say it so they understand? The spine, what's the spine good for? Huh? Okay, what the spine does is collect all that information from your pelvis. It collects information from here, but mainly from your pelvis. It collects it all the way up. And what it does is that information goes into your spinal fluid, which has more light, more information than any other fluid, goes to your brain, tells your brain what to do and what's going on. So the reason why we do it in there is because it goes in and fractures any displaced calcium that is blocking. It also takes any scar tissue and actually brings back life to the tissue, and it decalcifies the mitochondria. And then what it does, it puts light and energy back into the spinal fluid. Okay, go ahead, Olivia.
So that's what she recommended, that because we didn't have a specific thing, she'd do the whole spine, and she did it on me and my daughter. I came back, had the live cell blood analysis done 6 days later, and she said the lady who did it knows nothing about the Cellsonic or anything to do with you. And she just said, well, it looks like the oxidative stress has gone down there. So I gave Alicia a report actually about 3 or 4 different things that in the blood, in the live blood cell analysis showed there was already improvement. So this works, there's something more to it. And like I say, I'm not part of the team, I'm not making money off this, but Alicia and I are definitely probably going to get a Cellsonic as well. And the med bed looks good. She tried this hand thing to do your blood.
Oh, the Avicen.
Yeah,
Well, the
all
Avicen,
kinds of things.
the Avicen that we use, how many people go do saunas? Yeah, or sweat saunas, or even infrared saunas. Well, this is 400% stronger, and all you do is put your hand in it, and 3 out of 4 times you're going to fall asleep. So what it does, it puts you, you have these actual temperature pads in your hands and your feet, and between the heat and the vibration, it goes in, and guess what? It is more powerful in oxygenating microcirculation, which is 74% of your body, okay, than a hyperbaric chamber. It will actually detoxify you 400% more than an infrared sauna. And it actually puts you into a parasympathetic state, which is a healing state within 5 minutes. So we will get people to use these at the clinics, and then we will actually get them to buy them to take them home, because it actually teaches you how to now calm down, because most people are so terrorized, right? Continually terrorized.
And it's really cozy.
It puts you into a parasympathetic state and makes you feel like you are loved. That's it, okay?
That's my story.
And you're sticking to it?
You can.
Okay, thank you. Alicia, do you have anything to add?
That I used the Avicen because I had extreme nerve pain from tearing all the ligaments in my ankle and had surgery, and it's the surgery that really made the issue worse. And it within 10 days of using it consistently, it was all taken care of. I love my Avicen. Had it
I am
almost 2
not
years.
going to tell you, but only maybe 1/50th of what it can do. You'll have to talk to them because I cannot tell you all the things it will do because we're not supposed to have something that can do this. And I'm telling you the God's truth. And just understand that, and just so you know, that there, well, it's not there anymore, but the Cellsonic is $125,000 US. It's not inexpensive. And when somebody buys one, I give them their complete training for free. Now you can go buy from someone else in Europe or in India, okay? But the reality is we give the whole training for free to become a practitioner, certified practitioner. Yeah, so, yeah. And understand something, when you become a practitioner, you ready for this? You get 1 to 3 master trainings every week by me, my son, Dr. Wolfe, or the people that actually engineer things, or scientists that come in, and we're training at least 3 hours a week to our practitioners. You get this? Their training never stops, and it's free for the rest of their life. So when you go home tonight, you can ask yourself, what is he really up to? I'll tell you what I'm really up to. Love. Love. Loving your life, loving your body. Okay? Nobody can ever love you more than you. And nobody ever will. It's not physically possible. And you can never love yourself enough. And where do you live?
Red Deer.
Oh, Red Deer. Nothing in Red Deer right now, dear. You know, it's just Toronto and here, right? That's it for Canada. That's it. Okay. And the reality is eventually we'll have them everywhere. And the reality is you have no idea. So when a Cellsonic hits town, okay, that's why he's so excited, because he sees all the other practitioners. Okay. There's like this. It's like there's about 48 to 53,000 pulses in a head, in a Cellsonic head. All right, and Shalu's going through like 1 every 2 weeks. There's a reason, right? So you have to understand something. You know, it's always been about electricity. Okay, how much electricity does a dead person have? How much electricity does somebody who's vitally healthy have? How much electricity does a sick person have? So understand something. We know how to get the electricity into them, okay? Oh my God, the battery's dead. We can't go anywhere. Oh, no, don't worry, man. We'll charge that sucker. So we can charge you up. And how do we charge you up? Well, first of all, giving you faith and confidence in yourself. Okay? That's the main thing right there. That smile. And we're always going to be at you. We're going to talk about the Braveheart Love Band. We're going to be talking about mirror work. Okay? Stop hating yourself. Stop draining the battery. But guess what? We can go in and give you a supercharge with the cardio med bed and this. Listen, I'm going to create a phenomena around the world with these 2 devices and with my non-surgical, my perfect day, okay? And with the advanced water fasting, the vaginal infusion, and the ultimate coffee enema. We've taken everything and brought it up, and we brought the thunder down. So if a person really wants to go to town, there's nothing that you can't heal. You are an electrical magnetic energy being. So plug yourself into life. Okay? All right? You want to say anything?
Yes, Susan?
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Susan. Susan also is a practitioner in Calgary, okay?
So I'm applying to have.
You want to speak louder?
Daryl and I have spoken already about this client, and she had
Do you want to come up here? Why don't you come up here? Just, Susan, why don't you come up and then everybody can see you. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, all right. Come on around this way. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Okay, so I have a client who Daryl and I have spoke about. She had a 12-inch fibroid.
1 inch.
12-inch.
No, 1 inch to here.
Oh, 1 inch.
You almost have to kiss it.
All right. Okay.
It was only 1 inch.
I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Okay, go ahead,
So
sweetie.
she had a 12-inch fibroid, which was the size of a 7-month fetus, sitting right above her uterus. And her specialist said, well, I don't know what we're going to do, and left it at that. So she came to see me, and Daryl and I talked, and I did non-surgical on her the first time. And it was hard like a fetus. And Daryl said, well, it's already decalcified, and pulled the calcium from her hips to surround it before becoming stage 4 inflammation.
Which they call cancer.
Yeah. So
Which one would you like to be called? Stage 4 inflammation or cancer? Which one? Okay, but guess what? Let's scare the living crap out of you. Okay, go ahead.
So she was 37 years old and really wanted to have kids. They didn't even say anything about a hysterectomy. They told her it was a 12-inch fibroid on top her uterus. Is that inside the uterus, outside the uterus? I said, I have no idea. That's one question. But the other one is, the second time, 2 months later, we did non-surgical. We turned it from that, it had decalcified. She did castor oil packs every single night.
Was she on the Amerigen?
No.
Oh, wow.
I know. She's on Black Diamond, the tea, Black Gold, and that was it. But she did a castor oil pack every night for 2 months, except 3 days of her period. And the second time we did non-surgical, we turned it from that whole size into a grapefruit. In the one, like.
Are you getting this?
It softened into a ball. It didn't have there was one piece of calcification I could not get that was kind of on the back, but the rest.
And that's where the cell sonic comes in.
That's what my question is at what point are we going to move to the cell sonic?
Oh, you should have moved to the cell sonic before you started
If
working
there
on
was
it.
one in town.
No, Susan, this is your fault. Okay, so I just want you guys to know this, that you come with, like, let's say a peach-sized fibroid. In most cases, just with the non-surgical, we'll bring it down by 30% in the first treatment. Remember, it's a scar tissue issue. And if we're lovingly pulling the scar tissue apart and the blood flow and the lymph and the energy comes in, it doesn't, and it won't stay that way, but you gotta, wherever it is, we gotta get you to do things like clapping, perfect day. And if it's down in this area, women, you're so lucky to have a vagina. Let me tell you, if you do the vaginal infusion, and the women that aren't in trouble, if you were to do a vaginal infusion every day for the next 30 days, okay, you have no idea. And guess what? When we come back here in July, the last course we're doing is a 3-day course. And you want to talk about that for a second?
Okay, good.
No, but what do you think? Let's give her a hand.
Well, we didn't get the answer.
What was the answer?
The question was, like right away, the cell sonic now would really accelerate taking it down.
Absolutely. Okay, and the reality is, it can shut the thing down.
How fast? How was her period? Was it normal? Her period was normal. She'd had quite a few miscarriages. There was a lot of emotional issues that are attached to that.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You don't grow something this big unless you're storing stuff that you can't deal with. So this is why men need to be more supportive. There wouldn't be 750,000 uteruses and ovaries, okay, a mountain high every year if we were supporting each other. And that's the deal. Remember something, you don't get a disease anywhere unless you're something suppressed. He cheated on you, you kind of strayed away, okay, you lost a baby, you don't feel sexually pleasing anymore, he doesn't look at you. Listen to me. This is why we teach the Braveheart course. This is why we teach the whole life coach. You know, people will come from all over the world to take our whole life coach and understand. We're talking nurses, are we? We're talking doctors, we're talking chiropractors, and we're talking lay people that thought they could never become a practitioner. So everybody comes, and 30% of them come and they don't even want to be certified to do it for a living, do they?
No, lots
No.
of them don't.
And the reality is this, once you understand, when you become the master of your mind, it's over. It's over.
I'd say 50% come to work on themselves
Yeah.
and then their family,
Yeah,
right? So that you become the doctor or the teacher for your family instead of being a medical emergency in the emergency room, when most of the time you just need to learn some self-care steps so that you don't become that emergency.
absolutely. Yes.
So what's the difference between the whole life coach and the Braveheart Circle?
Well, here, let's put it this way. The Braveheart Circle is, it's actually a 7-day course where we go 3 days, 1 day off, 3 days. That was a new course I put together. And we may not have it here. We will only have it here if we have enough people. There has to be at least 12 people. So, but the whole life coach will definitely go on, because we've been doing whole life coaching, non-surgical. We taught 250 practitioners last year. Okay? Yeah, think about that. Okay? So, and they came from all over the world. So the whole life coach, the difference is, in the Braveheart Circle, we sit there. We go around nutritionally, emotionally, physically. I do non-surgical. I have a couple of master trainers, and we do non-surgical on you. We prove to you that you're not bone on bone. We prove to you that you don't need to go to surgery. We prove to you that you don't need to take pain drugs, okay, because we're going to get rid of that. Because you know your pain is caused because of the crystallization, the calcification, poking at your nerves. And the scar tissue is wrapped around your nerves and it's choking it. And that's all it is. And understand something. How many people have been told that the nerve's dead? It's a lie. It's a lie. The nerve is actually choked off. If I were to have a water hose and I could put enough pressure on it, would the water come through? So you put scar tissue and calcium around a nerve, you're going to choke off the transmission. It's electrical. And they're not lying to you. What if they don't know? Your doctor doesn't know this. He's not a liar. He became a doctor to help you. Without emergency care, we'd be in big trouble. But when you use emergency care for your health care, you're in big trouble. That's all. I'm not putting them down. Okay, so just know that. And I already said earlier that thank God there's drugs, or a lot of people would have off themselves already, because they can't get the answers. I mean, when's the last time somebody talked like this to you? And you're probably saying, yeah, and it'll be the last time too. Okay.
And the very last course to wrap it up is the pelvic restoration and
Yeah.
disease prevention masterclass.
3 days. It's only
for
3 days.
women, where you're going to learn how to love, honor, nourish, and reconnect to the healing center of a woman, which is the vaginal canal and the uterus, which is literally the portal of life.
And you're actually going to get friendly with it. And you're actually going to put something into it. And you're going to be actually learning how to love it. Whoa. He'll be jealous. Okay.
Does that work for women that are women with 750,000?
Oh, no, you need it more than anyone else, because you've got a brick of scar tissue and calcium down there. Did you know that when you get surgery, you get more scar tissue and more calcium displaced than anything else? Did you know that? And I'm just going to tell you something. My son, Dr. Wolfe, will be here, and he does the non-surgical course. And how well does he do that?
Absolutely amazing.
He's a rock star.
A wealth of knowledge, and yeah, rock star.
And guess what? If you want to learn the most powerful body work so that you don't have to see pain and suffering, and we also, guys, you know, if you want, we'll do a personal treatment and training and come to your home and teach you and your wife, or teach you your family. We go everywhere around the world. This is what we do. You go to braveheartnation.com, go in there, you can get a PTT. That means that you can have a personal trainer come to you and do you one-on-one if you don't want. You don't have to be certified, but you can learn how to work on each other, right? We have 6 different personal treatment and trainings. Even the 3-day vaginal course for women, we'll come and do one-on-one, not me. Okay, all right? See you later, sweetie. Okay? No cookies and milk, please. Okay. The non-surgical is using the elbow, and if you go to,
Yeah, you can pick me. You do my face.
okay, I'll do your face, and then you're gonna come and explain that. And what do you want done? What is it you want done?
Well, I was thinking my lower back.
Okay, first of all, guess what? I'll be honest with you. I need somebody who might have a knee problem or a neck problem. Okay, I'll tell you why, because I can't be here for an hour. Okay, come on up, Susan. Okay? Oh, well, but before we do that, can I have Sandra come up? Sandra wants to talk about something. Now, Sandra is a master trainer, and Sandra lives in Manitoba. And I just want to talk about something. We didn't get through all the products, but when you get a consult, you'll be getting, if you get you'll get the PDF manual, or you can buy the hardcover. Okay, you'll buy it for cost. And you can learn about all this stuff, guys. Listen to me. I'm telling you the God's truth. I have the best products I can find, and if you can find a better one, I'll drop that one. So understand that, okay? Sandra wants to tell a story about her father, okay? And it's a very important story. Her father just left, okay? All right, he just left for somewhere else unknown, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, so my story is actually for every single person out here. If you think you need a white jacket on you, if you think you need letters behind your name to make a difference, you don't. I spent a whole bunch of months just hanging out with my dad and just trying to make sure that I knew he was going. And so I'm just learning to meditate and learning to do lots of different energy things. And I knew that I was not there to save his life. I knew I was there to ease his death. So of course I didn't know how that was going to pan out. Just to make the story short and sweet, I used to be a trucker. Okay, guys? I never came to this thinking I was going to make a difference for anyone else, but I knew that if we could unlock the brain, that we could get better access to our hearts, and we could live what we want to. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, so just a little bit emotional, but so the shortcut story is that about a day and a half before he passed, he started to gurgle. His throat started to fill up. Now, the nurses confirmed that his lungs were perfectly clear. And again, that is because of nebulizing. But so when he started to gurgle in his throat, I grabbed too many products.
It's okay, I got it.
Okay, so we started to nebulize with the silver bullet and the bright eyes. And then we would nebulize with just the straight iodine. And so what this does, it helps just to break things up. And I was very careful.
It disinfects the lungs.
And it didn't, nothing broke up into large chunks. He wasn't choking on it. It simply broke things down so that he could breathe easier. So about 10 minutes before he passed, I wasn't with him overnight, but I got there in the morning. He'd been struggling to breathe for about 2.5 or 3 hours. And so right away, I just stopped and just connected with myself. I said, okay, A, what's going on right now? And B, what can I do about it right now? Immediately the answers came. A, his body is in so much trauma because he can't breathe. So his spirit is locked inside and he can't go, he can't leave. The next message was, and if he can just get a little bit more breath in him, then the body will calm down slightly and he can go. And so I said, well, I know the power of nebulizing. I know it's kept his lungs clear up till now. So let's do this. So we started with just the straight iodine.
So you take infinite iodine, which is the only pure iodine in the world. Nascent and Lugos are not pure. So infinite iodine, you can never take too much and harm yourself, where those you could blow your thyroid. So with the infinite iodine, you take 1 part of iodine, and then 1 part of infinite iodine, you take 3 parts of distilled water. If you can structure it, all the better. It ionizes it better, and you buy yourself a nebulizer. Guys, you need to do something. You need to get addicted to nebulizing, even if you tell me you have no lung problem. It goes into your blood, goes into your brain, goes into your lungs. It disinfects your body like you've never seen before. Okay, you don't want the COVID or all that other stuff. You want to go in and disinfect. And iodine will disinfect anything in 15 seconds. 15 seconds. And you want to nebulize all day long. And then she took the bright eyes, which is the only fallback you can put in your eyes and actually help to reverse burning eyes, cataracts, glaucoma, detached retina. And I won't say that it'll reverse everyone's, but it'll put it on hold, because if you've got a bad diet and your mind's a riot, we can't come up against that, can we? So you got to do other things. You take the bright eyes and you take the silver 50-50 and you nebulize that. You nebulize in your car, you nebulize at home. You nebulize as if you're addicted to it and you're a vapor, and you're going to find out something. You can think better, you can see better, you can smell better. I'm not kidding. Your lungs will just open right up. And I'm going to tell you, right from allergies, asthma, to COPD, to stage 4, okay, we've seen it turn around with nebulizing. So you need to get this, okay? Go to the source, and you would be the source. Okay, go ahead. Leslie.
Yep, and so there was no change after the iodine, so I just quickly did the half and half, silver bullet spray, bright eyes. We were only about through half of the nebulizing, and all of a sudden, he started to take just a slight bit more breath. And then he would gurgle, gurgle again, and then breath out, and then slight more breath in, and then gurgle, gurgle. And so we kept doing that. And funny enough, I had, in the times when I just spent thinking about it and kind of meditating about it, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be there when he passed. But anyway, so then my body just said, hey, you need to go to the bathroom now. So I said, okay, right on. So I got up. I tell you what, I strutted down that hallway. I just felt like $1,000,000. You show up because I was clear enough in my heart just to be clear in that moment and hear the direction, right? Instead of doubt, instead of crap coming in, oh, who do you think you are, blah, 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 right? Just get clear enough in your heart that you can just get immediate instruction and just know. And wherever it comes from, I don't know where it came from. Who knows? I don't care. It had good results. I don't care where it came from. So I go to the bathroom, I come back, his call light goes off. He opened his eyes, and he hadn't opened his eyes in at least 2 days, looked my brother straight in the eye, and was gone. Bammo. My daddy didn't choke, right? Think about that trauma that could have happened, right? So who out here can't make a difference in your own life? Who out here can't make a difference for your senior dad? Who here can't make a difference for your neighbor down the street, right? And it all starts with putting enough emphasis on, I'm committed to me. I'm committed to making a difference for me, because you don't know who you're going to affect, right? So it's not selfishness. It's being good enough to yourself so that you can rise and you can be everything you can. And that goodness we can spread around. So if little old Chuck or Sandra can make a difference, every single one and everybody watching out there, come on now.
I'm going to tell you something. When she came, when Sandra came, she came for a personal treatment and training by herself. Okay, and I'll say this: she came and she wanted to learn the non-surgical, but she actually came because she wanted to save her own life. Okay, and now she came to the whole life coach. And please don't take this the wrong way. What did that do for you? Did it change you? Did it? What do you think would have been different with what happened in the last few days?
Oh, no, I would have dealt with nothing. I would have been angry. I would have been attacking everybody.
Especially yourself.
Especially myself.
Why can't I do anything? Yeah. Why can't I make a difference? Because your belief systems are sucking you. And I'm not saying come to me, but take a look at what we offer. And if you don't like me, then go find someone that does something like this, and then take massive personal action and invest into the most beautiful thing. And that's your heart and your brain, and get them working together.
I lived a personal life of a lot of strife. And why? I somehow just learned this really negative habit of being crappy to myself. I wasn't beat. I wasn't terribly abused. Normal stuff from people that are broken, right? And yet I have lived a quarter of a life, half a life, because I was so hard on myself. So invest in yourself, love yourself.
Go to braveheartnation.com and just check out what we have to offer. And then go into our library. Go into our library. That's free. and dive into it and then challenge yourself, challenge what we say.
We think we can be put together and have quite a bit of success in our lives, but until we understand this combination of needing access to our heart, but first you need to technically understand how the brain works. And the subconscious brain, right? It's going to keep you in your status quo. That's its job. You're safe right now, right? It's like having, and maybe this will be a little bit too political, but I love lots of Newfoundlanders, right? It's like having a little Newfie in your head going, well, you ain't there yet. Don't you change. You ain't there yet. No, right? And everybody out there, I love my Newfoundlander friends. So nobody say nothing negative about that. That is.
I'm from Newfoundland.
There we go.
I used to go out and go jigging with my grandfather at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we used to go jig the cod, clean them,
Yeah.
and then we'd actually then put them into these big wooden bins and we'd put them and we'd salt them. So we would eat fish and brews like until I felt bruised and fishy. Okay. All right.
We don't understand that that the job of that subconscious brain is just to keep you there. And even if you come along and you pick up some good things along the way, and I'm gonna go with that. I got a little, she's really nice. It'll go to work. And if you don't kind of finish the job, if you don't understand, then you need to keep that brain, right? Our heart is, brain is so. So we've got to realize that we have to recognize what's the program, what's been mind, what's been repeating, and we got to realize we need to use our band.
Love band. And here's the deal. The next time that somebody always sets you off, just put your hand on your heart and then take a lion heart breath, just one. And by the time you let it go, you won't blow. I promise. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is we'll do non-surgical, and I'll show you the power of non-surgical. But I would like to do something because people are leaving. What I'd like to do is this. I'd like everybody to stand up and let's make a big circle here and hold hands on the outside. Just let's make a big circle, okay? One big circle, please. Okay, how do I help me with this? Here, I want to flip all these around. Okay, let's hold each other's hands. Let's all make one big circle. I promise you'll like this. Okay? It's not gonna take long, and then those of you don't stand right in front. Okay.
I don't even know where all the flipping them are. Like that one, I don't know where that one is, but
Okay.
not these two.
Okay, then you want to turn your hand.
I'll turn these.
So turn it around like that. Okay, good. Okay, let's all hold each other's hands, okay? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, and we're going to say it together, 2, and 3, and we are going to roar so loud that the roof is going to come off this place because you got to find your roar because there's so much more. Okay, so ready? 1, 2, 3, roar! Okay, now you got to hug the one you're near.
I like hugging.
Come on, hug. So listen, thanks for coming, everybody. Those of you that want to stay, I'm going to show you the non-surgical, and I'm going to show you, guess what? You can't do it with your hands. You can adjust it, but it's going to pop out. You can do acupuncture to try to move the energy, but until you remove the physical block, you're going to have the swelling, you're going to have the pain, you're going to have the stiffness, and guess what? Eventually, they're going to tell you they got to cut this big chunk out and give you a fake hip, a fake knee, mesh, bolts, screws, rods, okay, a new transplant. All right, we're going to prove that everything. Look at this. If you can create a disease when you're unconscious, do you think that maybe you could heal yourself when you're conscious? And understand something. Oh, there is no higher vibration than self-love. I didn't say love.
No. Forget love. It's self-love. If everybody were to self-love, no one would hurt anymore, would they? And that means that you wouldn't hurt the people you love, because when you hurt others. And as long as you stay hurt, you run a hurt program, it gets bigger and stronger until it eats you up. You know what? When you meet someone and you fall in love with them, you could have stayed with them forever if you came down here as a spirit being and you realize that this is an adventure, and the people that control the planet, it's their job to try to kill you. It's their job to bring your spirit down, because there's an entity on this planet that is feeding off of your suffering. And do you know how we get them back? We have a beautiful day. We love ourselves and we ignore them. You know what? I don't care who the bully is, whether it's government or whether it's anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. I will yawn in their face. Understand something. I have the power, okay, of the Creator inside of me when I love myself. That's the highest vibration you'll ever have. And you can believe it or not believe it. And this is not going to take anything away from your religion. Except if your religion is this, that if you totally love yourself and going to hell, then I can't help you. Because that's a bad one. Okay? Okay, so anybody who wants to go can go. And I'm going to maybe work on 2 or 3 people and just show how it works. Okay? All right?
You want to meet?
Okay. All right.
Take care.
All right. Okay. What? I need somebody that they have such a bad neck. Does anybody have a really bad neck?
Mary.
What? Does Mary want it done? No. Right? But she does want it done. Well, I just thought that everybody knew that Mary had a bad neck because Mary won't stop talking about it. All right. Okay. Can we end this? Everybody, you won't be able to see me unless you want to put that down.
Do you want it?
Not really. Guys, we'll see you later. It's too awkward to do this, okay? Have a great night. Thanks for joining us, okay? And why don't you fall in love with yourself? Give it a shot, okay? Where's Mary?
Right there, do Mary.
Don't want to say that.
I know.
Yep.
Come on, Mary. Let's do this. What's going on with this? Okay, ankylosing spondylitis, just so you know, is actually, Mary's been pulling the calcium